I can still see a little tiny smidge of black. Oh, okay, that's good.
Good. Look at all that purple. Purple.
Yeah, purple.
You're
good, bro. Look at that. Perfect.
You know what? Just keep it on this close up, and I think we'll be fine. I might be able to ignore it. Nope, I can't do it.
What would really be funny is if like he starts playing and the whole thing falls down.
Something's wrong on the floor now too. Something's wrong on the floor. Look at that.
He'd be like,
He's got a wrinkle on the floor probably that he has to iron out.
Hey, my studio would look like shit without his obsessive compulsion.
Obsessive compulsive disorder. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Philip always has like that purple aura around him.
Yeah, even in real life, he has it.
I kid because I'm OCD a little bit too.
Oh, I'm like, so when I leave the studio every night, I lock the door, and here's my routine before I can drive home. I walk to my truck, open my truck door, walk back to the studio door, jiggle the handle, make sure it's locked. I go back to the truck, turn on the truck, pull out like I'm getting ready to go, and then I get back out, pull on the handle of the studio door, make sure it's locked, and then finally I can get back in and go. So, yeah, it's an affliction. It's definitely an affliction.
I always drive my wife crazy because anytime we go anywhere that has like a desk or like you go to the bank and they have like little flyers sitting out, I've got to square them up because they're always a mess. So I have to go like this and square them up so they're like at right angles to everything. I do it without even thinking about it. It's really weird. But oh well, it's me.
Yeah.
So true. I think
I've finally gotten out of my printing habit because I used to work for a print shop. So every single time we would get a piece of printing of any kind, we have to look at all of the margins. Like me and my coworkers, anytime we'd go out, we'd always tease each other at a restaurant. We'd be looking at the ink and the printing, and we're like, "Oh, I'm sorry. Did you want us to place our order? Let us actually read the menu, and then we'll tell you. Just come back in a minute. We were checking out the printing." Like, look, it's washed out right here.
The very first thing I stopped doing when we went digital is my desk was a wasteland of nothing at work. Once we went to digital docs, all I had to do was carry around a tablet. And I honestly don't think I printed a substantial amount of anything on a printer, probably in about 8 or 9 years.
Wow.
I just am not a tactile hard copy person, unless it's like a old school book I want to read, or something that's already printed and
I don't like
around for me to read
digitally. I don't like reading digitally.
Where's Arena?
She's running late. She'll be here in about 7 minutes, so we'll get started with our not a recap, but we'll get started with all of our schedule changes and announcements. And I'll wait till we get started. But we got a lot of 2022 is going to be a busy time.
Yeah, we'll see.
It is.
I don't look too far forward, man. I remember when it was like, oh my God, 2020 sucks. I can't wait for 2021. And then 2021 came and it's like, no, it can suck harder. It can totally suck harder than 2020. So 2022 could really suck harder than 21. So I have no hope for the future.
It's almost over. Hey,
it can
look
always
at this
get
way.
worse, but we hope
in
for
12 days, the new Spider-Man, in some number of days, the new Spider-Man comes out. I think 11. Yeah, 11 days. In 11 days, the new Spider-Man comes out. Look forward to that.
So
cool. I haven't been to the movies in a couple years. Like 3, I think.
I haven't looked forward to a Spider-Man since.
Is that a black corner?
There was a Spider-Man movie.
Is that a wrinkle in the blue velvet?
Yeah, that's right.
He really did.
Fuck you, Dougley. Fuck you. Fuck you, Dougley. We've had enough of your 12-year-old bullshit, Derek. I think you should just go back to the corner of the round room, my friend.
Lev, it's slightly slanted, just a little bit.
Well, first of all, we know that's you, Apollo, not the backdrop.
Some of us are concerned. Some of us take into account presentation.
Ooh, and he's gorgeous. Hey, this presentation behind me is all Cesare, baby. All Cesare.
Yeah.
I wish.
That was my, that's the end of. Moving right along. I know we're waiting for Arena, but
mine is scary man hiding in the corner. See that? Look at that.
Oh yeah,
like somebody's watching
next to a scary boy sitting out in the open.
So the reason that I am so particular about it is because, yet again, I'm broadcasting out of the bus. So.
Yeah, but you're obviously near a good signal.
I am.
Yeah.
I parked out in front of my friend's house, so he has great Wi-Fi. I am running off of my solar generator. Like, I'm working on this whole off-grid thing. If I zoom out, you can see that's the emergency exit of the bus. There's my microphone. I got sound panels up here for dampening.
And we're gonna meme Valev when there's a sudden rock and like a sudden movement. And then he immediately pops open the emergency hatch and starts climbing out as the whole bus is being rocked. And then you watch his teeth just crush the bus.
And then
like
the Partridge Family bails out.
Jurassic Park it.
Yeah, Cloverfield Part 3.
Mm-hmm.
Valev, I can still see a little bit of corner.
Shut up, Apollo. No, you cannot. Fades. The blue fades up to blackness.
It looks marvelous.
Thank you.
I do like the way the blue light reflects off the backdrop too. It's pretty cool. It may be the super softest thing I've ever said.
Wow. Thanks. Yeah.
You're very welcome. The new camera should be here this week.
So
we'll be all on Panasonic cameras. The microphone should be here this week, so we can finish wiring that when you come out next weekend.
All good things.
Hey everybody, happy Monday. Arena will be with us shortly. She should be logging on in a couple minutes.
I should pull my character sheets.
Yeah, welcome to Faerun Reborn.
It's about to give birth.
It's the remaining portion of this campaign will be an interesting journey, to say the least. But hey, our schedules are all updated down below, so be sure to click on that so you know what we got going on the other days of the week. I'm sure everybody is out there busy working and existing, and you know, I get it. It's the end of the year, you know, and the end of the year crabbies are here for sure. They're everywhere. They're migrating through the streets and making their way into our living rooms and onto our smartphones and making our way. Faerun Reborn tonight. This is what we do when we're dragging our feet before we do the recap and before Arena, my partner in crime, gets on. She had a appointment that ran a little bit late. But yeah, Apollo's going to do his best to stay awake, I think. Kai, the gorgeous hellhound in the bottom corner. Derek is just a stoic stonework of Derekness. And then there's Ivar. What can we say about Ivar? As little as possible, because he could actually hunt you down and try to kill you. I've heard
Somebody
that.
should run a timer and see how long it takes before I move again on my next interaction.
You're just trying to be Drax, buddy. You're just trying to be Drax.
Actually, I'm playing.
Playing your Swatch.
My movements are so fast that they're imperceivable.
No, we call that latency. We call that latency. So yeah, I was going over the remaining content I have for this campaign. I reviewed all the Merkle avatars that we made for it. Should be interesting. Yeah, there's. I mean, to be frank and not Charles, there's plenty of potential for you guys to wrap this up with the TPK. I'm not gonna lie about that.
Thanks.
You already know it's called Apollo has to die a couple more times.
Oh no, I think you've used up your lives, my friend. I think it's more of a matter of all your companions staring down at your still corpse and going, "Well,
He ain't with it."
Hey, this
check
is
him
a
for
final
loose
battle.
change and throw him in the swamp."
Soylent Green is people. Is Apollo.
Soylent Green
Is
is Apollo. Help us.
And it's delicious.
Help us.
If I die again, just use me as what's called plant fertilizer.
Rations.
Rations.
I can literally do that. So
Although I thought of something interesting, Arena could bring out her death worm.
Oh, yeah.
It can feed on Apollo's corpse and then turn Apollo into an undead barbarian.
Apollo. Yeah.
That way we don't have to worry about him dying anymore. And he'll still like be tanky DPS and do all those things that we need
immune to poison, won't have to undead resiliency, won't have
Yeah.
to breathe anymore or eat.
The more and more we talk about this, I'm thinking we need to kill him.
Hey,
He'd be more useful as a dead person.
Although
possibly.
although his attunement to his spear might be a problem. You do
I
actually have to be alive to attune to it. So
We can give that to Arena.
no, God, no. Don't give it to her.
We'll give it to Dudley.
She'll just use it to make popcorn.
Jeez.
Dudley can throw
She'll
it
just
in
go,
his
look,
paw.
guys.
Yeah.
I invented popcorn.
Oh, we'll give it to Valev. Valev
That's
would use it.
cleric. I know. Valev's got that badass staff. I don't think he needs it.
Yeah.
Holy shit. You guys need to go over your gear. What do you have now, Gulshaw?
What do I have?
Yeah, what do you have that you use on a regular basis?
Oh, okay. Let me go through that then.
That's what we were like, the potions and everything. We were getting everything
So
dished
I
up.
have my Raven armor.
Yeah.
I've got my amulet of the Raven Queen. I've got where's it at?
Because you don't have a shield anymore, right? You use the two-handed hammer or the mace?
Yeah, I use a two-handed hammer. I've never had a shield.
Well, you had it. You just never used it.
You mean the elemental hammer? The elemental shield?
Yeah. The one that you got during your summer travels, right?
Yeah. Well, I didn't think I could use it with my hammer, so I gave it to Arena. I also have the circlet of the Raven Queen, but I'm not seeing the circlet. I don't know, where is it at? Equipment.
Probably in your notes.
Oh, storyteller, do you have
Yo.
my Black Dragon armor that you said you were going to?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
there it
know,
is.
right? I
Yeah, and then the
don't
circuit.
I don't have it in D&D Beyond, but it is essentially
It's okay. I can make it on this.
it's essentially what I call scale plate.
Amulet, circlet, armor, and hammer. That's what I have.
I essentially call it scale plate, and it gives you a base armor class of 18.
Okay.
It's considered light, so it does not create disadvantage.
Is that flat armor class with dex bonus or with
No, it's base armor class.
Okay.
And then you can do all the modifiers and add all the modifiers that you want.
Valev was hoping for some of that armor as well.
It's the same. It's identical. It's basically dragon scale armor. So it gives you a base AC of 18. It's considered light. Does not cause disadvantage for stealth. You have advantage on strength checks versus being knocked prone because of the nature of the armor.
Hi, guys.
Hi, Arena.
So are you saying I could use my hammer with the shield?
Howdy.
Well, I mean, I thought we converted your hammer to a maul.
Well, that is a maul.
Rerun fun. Hey, Chaotic Platypus, how are you?
He loves them all.
All right. So with that armor, I now have a base AC of 24. Sweet.
Cool. Kai, what's your base AC up to these days? It's funny, we've been playing
20.
forever, and I don't know any of these stats. I just, 20?
It says 20. I thought it was 21, but no, I guess I'm 20. Yeah,
Okay.
20. Oh, yeah, that's right. It's 20 on this one and 19 on my other one that I play on Fridays.
Arena, what are you up to these
I
days?
was 21 with my sorcerer.
20.
Valev, what does that new dragon scale armor give you?
Advantage on strength.
I'm
save,
trying to
or
build the armor
being
right
knocked-
now
being knocked
because
prone.
Valev normally doesn't wear any armor. So I'm going into I'm adding the dragon scale mail and then just customizing it to the stats that you mentioned. Because they have
Gotcha.
dragon scale mail black that provides the acid or the normal dragon resistance, I'm assuming.
Correct.
Does it give acid resistance?
Yeah, you get because it's made from the black dragon.
Okay.
So
Did
it's
that green shield, that green dragon scale shield, give Valev? Did it give you more than a +2?
It was a +3.
Yeah, it's a +3.
Did
Yeah,
that
he's walking-
second scale?
he's a-
Did that second scale get turned into a shield?
Yeah, you got the
No
elemental
one,
shield though
no
too.
one made the request. I mean, it was
Okay.
just the initial request for Valev.
The Valev also asked for a shield from the black dragon scales if it was possible. But no, there were two originally. One was mine and one was Arena's for the scale shield.
Am I allowed to throw a freaking javelin with the shield?
Yeah, it's a one-handed toss. I'm okay with that.
Yeah, but
I think I gave my
you're a
scale.
barbarian, right?
Scale. I gave my scale to Vert.
oh, you can have
you
a shield,
did.
huh?
Yeah,
still
because
rage and
he
all that?
wanted to
Mhm.
test it and
Alright.
stuff. So I think that's why mine didn't get turned into a shield.
Well, you got the shield of elementals
Oh right, I have those shields. I haven't looked
and the
at those.
hammer and the book that you have to figure out how to use.
Hi, can you look at these things
I
for
just
me?
have a regular shield. I do a full-
Hi,
Unless the book gives me
Kai.
extra paladin spells, you can have it.
Kai, can you look at these things for me?
Oh, we just finished what, like
Okay.
a
They're
48-hour
not-
trip?
They're
Did my
Did I
plus
the
10 ring
shield?
of protection? Did they get finished my plus 10 ring of protection that I had to make?
Yeah, plus
The only
10 ring of
the only
protection.
attunement you have left is we can attune your cock ring to it.
There you go. I'm good. I'm
Uh,
down. I'm down.
Only a
Okay.
+10.
Only a plus
boy.
10.
Oh,
I
God.
got two
Oh,
more
God.
attunement slots. I think I.
I really want a ring on Fire's tail on tomorrow's game. Just saying.
Cheers.
I want a ring on Fire's tail.
I
Gets
have no
poopy.
doubt.
I
that's
still
what you
have
want.
one more attunement slot. Because
Um,
I got rid of
It's not
the
letting me
cloak.
customize the dragon scale.
You still have to attune to your portable, foldable.
I
Black
have 2
scale
more
armor.
attunement slots left.
That's not attunement, right?
The adventurer's traveling cat box that you use every day.
That's that foldable that
It's a ring. You take it off, and it's in the box goes and fills up with sand.
well, I was thinking.
And then when you like scrape 3 times and walk out of it, it folds back up into a ring.
No, you know how there's that campsite. What's it called? Where it's just a portable campsite.
Oh yeah.
Shoot, Jason, what's that called? You have an item. You
Uh,
have an
portable
item.
campsite.
No, it's like shit. We had it in the other game. We didn't have it in this game. We had it in the other game. Okay, but we sold it. I think we sold it to Pumat Soul.
Oh.
Why can't
That
I
guy's
customize
everywhere.
these?
I don't know.
It's not allowing me to customize armor.
Let's see if let's have you look at the
Yeah,
hammer,
you can do it.
The hammer of making and the shield of elements. Kai.
Just click onto your armor class if you just want to you can just change the armor class.
Well, that's
you
what
can
I was trying to
override
figure
your armor
out.
class.
I wasn't sure how to calculate it because when a barbarian isn't wearing armor, their AC is calculated different from if they are.
Well, if you're
And
wearing
then
armor, then it's the
You can't
armor
rage, too,
plus
if
your
you're wearing
dex, and
armor.
that's it.
Yeah, the only, I mean, well, so here's the thing: if it's considered light armor, and I know we're going to eat into some game time doing this, but I kind of feel like this is kind of something important we need to go over because I do a
This
lot
is
of
important. 1 point of an AC is an important thing.
Yeah.
Life and death.
Few
Yeah,
episodes.
when
Very
you're fighting
important.
something with a plus 18 to hit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no matter what,
Yeah.
even if I got a
Yeah.
shield,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit.
Don't get
I
me
got
wrong.
a sweet 14. 14
all the
has my
things
AC.
all the things he's thrown at us the last 3 encounters have like a plus 15 to hit. So like
Oh yeah.
them
Like,
rolling a 5.
There's a 37 hit. Yeah. It
Well, now,
hits.
but now it makes sense.
Yeah.
Now
So
asking the question makes sense.
It does. Describe
Barely.
that armor again. Would it end up being? Because I'm just gonna take a plain piece of like maybe mithril chain because that's considered light. I'm just trying to find things that are the same properties. Was it a +2, a +3? How was that? Would it rank for that?
It's a base 18 armor plus your dex. So basically, just get leather armor, tack on 2 points to it, and then add acid resistance.
So plus
it's
2 leather
actually-
armor.
It's actually just staying the same. If it's 18 plus my dex is 5, so I'm still at my regular armor class that I am currently.
Oh, okay.
But
Well,
that's
sell it.
also that's including my circlet of defense, which is +2. So I actually would be going up to like 25 if that's the case. And then my shield is +3. Damn, no, that's way higher AC. I just
There you go.
There you
Okay.
go.
There's the math. There's
that's
the
way
math.
higher, way
How
higher.
are you doing on attunement though? You're not over
forgot my
on
shield.
attunements?
I forgot my shield. Let me see what my attunement things are.
My armor is +1 because of my fighting
I
style.
only have all my attunements are done.
I do.
And I'm gonna
They
have
better.
to.
You
I'm gonna
got
have to
like
unattune something.
you basically
My
got
staff.
divine favors out the wazoo to get attunement
Yeah, it's
items.
supposed they have other qualities that have not shown up yet. I'm waiting for.
That's
Okay,
why. That's
so-
why Arena's
I
got
still
it.
have
Got
to
some of
swap.
them now.
Circlet of defense doesn't take a attunement.
That's what I have. I have a circlet of the Raven Queen, but I say it's attunements. Well,
Okay,
I-
so
Well, no, the circular defense only does the one thing, which is protection. Golshai, your circlet does divine intervention, doesn't it?
Well, yeah, my circlet does.
That's why it's the divine intervention that causes the attunement for you.
right.
Uh,
Okay, so the Book of
Yeah.
Ione, or not the Book of Ione, the Shield of Elementals. Kai is looking at it for me. Can she identify it for me?
I'm doing identify.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Uh huh. Uh huh. And we'll say so.
Ritual cast. Yep.
So before we get started on that, let's do a quick recap because I know we have got to get Apollo updated a bit.
Apollo, why is your camera shaking?
because
Because his
I'm moving
elbow's
my.
on the table.
No, it's because I'm. It's called tapping my screen.
Oh, so
That's quick. Well, it'd be tapping you. It'd be like tapping your screen.
Just saying. That's what I mean. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like.
Earthquake.
Earthquake.
All right. So from the time he went to sleep, go. He walked into Verts and then passed out.
Yep. Walking with, I was like, I'm good. It's like, I'm good. I'm in a safe spot. I won't die. I'm gonna take a nap on this couch.
Yeah.
You guys crack me up. So let's. Everybody can hear the music, okay? It's not too loud, not too soft.
That's good. Perfect.
I've been recreating some musical immersion to get us ready for getting deeper into this storyline.
Dun dun dun.
This, where we last left off, you guys had managed to restore the Tree of Life within the Dryad's Grove, made your way back to learn that Max had returned. Not only had he returned, but he had returned with other creatures of his own kind and seemed to have stabilized a version of the arcane nature of the weave, upon which all of him and his mentors, as well as other magical entities, are able to utilize. However, it's a finite resource. It's limited and limiting to a certain degree. You also learned that Scorch was brought back into existence through the chrono magic that Max had learned from his travels up into the Anarok Desert. I know, right? Paradox is like, not to be a but.
What's he butting about?
He's like, not to be a but Valez's backdrop looks like the kind that I had at school photos, which is pretty much what it is. It's exactly that's exactly what he's
Yeah.
What
So
I'm
are
going
you-
for.
That's why he looks so amazing and adorable.
You have to put your hand now. There you go. There you go.
It's beautiful.
Tilt your head to the right a little bit. There. Perfect.
Once back in Whist,
No, it was this.
team, the Chimera Company did some additional research with Vert after gaining access to a drained gem, an anti-magic field or stasis gem. And this began to cause everybody to wonder more about the basement gates that are sealed, the arcane gates down below Vert's tower. And it was only with Gul Shah's getting on his carpet and rising up to the top of the tower after having the notion that somehow through the time slippage and through the time loop that all of you are trapped in and learning more about Lady Silverhand, that you begin to realize that the only structure that truly was in existence during her time was the tower and part of the residential structure. And that as she prolonged her studies within the Academy of Knowing and trying to find a safe place upon which to hide it within the timeline, the very nature of the tower and some of the residential building structure had a kind of integration or cohesion with the tower itself. Finding the opened palmed dragon hand up at the very top of the tower and realizing that it had both component integrations as well as the gem that was found within the elven skull and the fractured portion of the academy, a whole lot of information had finally come together. And this activated the doors, allowed the team to participate in a rather unique set of events. They were time slipping. They were being pulled in one direction while time itself went another direction. At one point, you were pulled into a timeline and conversed with a version of Lady Silverhand that later turned out to be another and another and another, until finally the one that was trying to bring you into her timeline to explain about the Academy of Knowing and the fractured library that was deep in the Jasper Mines, we began to learn and understand exactly what Lady Silverhand was attempting to do.
And thankfully she made her rolls.
Well, there's that too. She was essentially attempting to stabilize a single timeline in which to place the Academy of Knowing, and that would protect all the artifacts that she had collected in an effort to... who did we lose?
Lost
we lost
Tusk. Nope, have
no,
Tusk.
we lost Ches.
Lost Ches.
In an
Bye,
effort
Ches.
to understand how to preserve the timeline, how to utilize the timeline as a way to protect what was barely surviving in the old world.
Welcome back.
Once the Chimera team had returned, they began to realize that the final push from the Jasper mining colony was in need of defense, as the great army of undead had unleashed itself out of the area of the Jasper mining colony and the Worn Tooth. The suspicion is maybe it would arrive in a couple days. The team, with the aid of the High Plains orcs, had managed to put together the necessary equipment, gather up the necessary resources, and begin to execute their portion of the plan. With the Academy of Knowing preserved, the team had decided to make their way to the Pin Swamp and then eventually make their way up into the Worn Tooth Mountains via the old volcanic access way and the old fire giant warrens that they had utilized before. However, during the travels to the Pin Swamp, and upon reaching the edge of the Pin Swamp, it was during this time period that you took some time to discuss ideas, plans, and plots, opportunities. It's been a while, almost 6, maybe 7 months since you've been back in this area, near the ruins of the Pim capital city, where the Mudknocker community is deep within the swamp, where by far the most exciting thing that happened during your travels through the swamp was Arena nearly getting swallowed whole and carried off by a great
don't know if that was like the most exciting. We had that giant basilisk that we fought.
Well, there was that.
Then there were the T-Rexes.
And then there was the T-Rexes.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, those are way more exciting than getting swallowed by a giant snake.
No, that was
Gulshaw almost dying to that blood-sucking bug that took all of the blood out of his body.
See,
Yep.
there was that too.
Yep.
Remember
Those
when
were
we
all
could
like
be
some of the
killed by
first
bugs?
adventures.
Oh yeah,
Probably
well,
read
the
about your
best part about all
adventures,
you going
but-
through the swamp was just realizing, how frustrated Gulshaw got. He was like, this whole camping shit sucks. I just want to go back to base. I just want to get out of the fucking
I
swamp.
never had this
Get
problem
me
in the
out of
desert.
fucking swamp. So where we last left off, it is early evening. You guys had made camp on the outskirts of the Pim Swamp, a vast refuge of overgrown and swampy land that seems to have changed a bit. It appears to be in a more decayed state. The undergrowth and overgrowth of the swamp itself seems to have been twisted, and as the Plains Orc and his fellow orcs help set up camp, all of you just watch as he just seems to stand there at the edge of the firelight, staring into the swamp, a noticeable look of concern on his face. And then the rain begins. Great sheets of lightning and clouds as the volcano within the Worn Tooth Mountain is now fully erupting. Great gouts of smoke and pyroclastic material spewing out in all directions, but a majority of it seems to emanate in the direction of Whist, casting everything into almost like a damp and soaked darkness of despair. You can even feel, even though it's fall and you would expect it to be a little bit chilly in the evenings, an unusual coldness is kind of like descending into the area, almost to the point where you can see each other's breath, even with the fire, the couple of fires within the campsite. Every now and then, orcs looking up at the sky, wiping moisture from their brows, the goats kind of like stamping their hooves and kind of flaring their nostrils in the direction of the swamp. This place feels dead. This place feels different than what you remember it being when you were guided through part of the way through the Bullywog community and the eventual return of Prince back to his community as well. It's early evening. It's raining, thundering. The general mood of despair is there, but not purposeful.
Not for us. I have inspiring leadership, and I have bolstered our party with my words of encouragement, giving us all 19 temporary hit points.
For all of you, for the next 24 hours, correct?
Until we take a long rest, in which case I have to repeat it.
Okay, fair enough.
So,
you can give a speech over brunch.
So
now's a good time to do some of the maintenance activities. So I believe you wanted to identify the Shield of Elementals.
yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
all of it.
We'll start with that one.
Yep.
After taking some time to study and identifying the shield, Kai, you begin to realize that once per long rest, the attuned person to the shield can summon any elemental from the planes of the elements of existence, and it would be under that person's control as long as they remained attuned to the shield. If they are knocked unconscious,
Oh.
the
Double
elemental
elemental
creature summoned would then be on its own accord and be out of control and could represent a threat.
Uh-oh.
So pretty much treat it like once a day you can cast Summon Elemental for the purposes of the description of the shield. It does require attunement, though, so whoever wields it must have an attunement slot available.
Is it a
for
plus shield? Is it plus 3 or 5 or 10 or what?
Nope.
No. Okay, so plus 30. All right.
So it's just
Full shot with that fast math.
so it's just
math.
like a normal shield, which is plus 2.
No.
I mean, which adds 2 to your
Correct.
AC.
Yeah, a normal base
Right.
shield component.
Normal base
Yeah, it's
shield.
just
is
The
regular.
only
two.
difference is it's
Okay.
considered light due to its masterwork creation.
Masterwork, so okay. All right, and then the hammer.
I have
of
a
the
shield,
naked-
but it's the repulsion shield, but I can apply that to any type of shield I want to because that is an infusion that I create.
Correct.
So I
That's
can put
not an
that
enchantment.
on
It's a physical
Any sort
infusion.
of
Yes.
shield. So
Yeah.
I that to
And that's
something
good
else
for what,
that even
24
if I
hours?
have to attune to that. My infusion shield, I believe so. I believe it's good like forever until I get rid of it. But yeah, I've got that repulsion shield that. So I do have a shield, so I don't need one. But if nobody else can attune to one, I have 2 more slots. So
Fair enough.
You need a shield. I need something to up my AC.
Apollo,
14
it sounds
is gonna
like
get hit no
needs
matter
a
what.
shield.
I need something.
Yeah, giving him a
Increase
shield
my-
might be good because he might actually need one because it's not going to up my AC any, and then that would give him an elemental to control
Okay.
until
I
he
think that's
gets
a good-
knocked unconscious. So
That's a good combo.
Hey, Apollo. You
yeah, for Apollo, I think that would work out good.
You have any interest
Yeah.
in I don't know, like a green dragon scale shield, maybe? Because I kind of got this
Well,
really
if
cool
it's a
staff that summons
I
a
know.
bunch of stuff, and summoning things is kind of like super up my alley. And I currently have a
Yeah.
28 armor class and could probably afford
Oh,
to
holy
have a
crap.
-2 by giving you that shield and not having the extra that the dragon scale shield gave me.
I mean, I'm fine with that. I mean, it's gonna. I mean, I'm probably no matter what gonna get hit with his plus 18.
Arena will say that the other dragon shield was made for you as well, so you have that one harnessed to the back of Ghost at this point.
Oh, okay, cool. And then the hammer of
it does the base +2 that a normal shield does, but then an additional +1 for the dragon scale shield.
Correct.
Do you want that, Apollo?
Yeah, I'm fine. I'll take that. I mean,
so I can have
honestly
the elemental summoning shield.
Yeah.
Oh my god, he's like a kid in a candy store.
Yeah,
I already know what you're planning to do with it. Like,
you do.
You're
do.
Go! You're going to summon an elemental, then you're going to shift into an elemental, and it's just going to be an elemental beatdown.
Yeah.
Right, so
don't forget, I'm also going to summon with my staff a mammoth.
More out.
Oh, good lord.
Nice.
Right.
So is there any other equipment? Is there any other equipment?
We still have the Hammer of Making and the Book of Ione.
Okay. So are you casting these as ritual, Kai, or using spell slots?
Yes, yeah. So it'll end up taking me a total of 3 hours to sit there and do, one of each.
I thought it was just 10 minutes.
Isn't it? Oh, is it only 10 minutes? I thought it was like an hour.
You're thinking of Find Familiar takes an hour.
It's 10 minutes per spell.
Okay.
So the Book of Ioun is unrevealing. It seems to be something that's required as part of an effect. Like it needs to be set into something, set onto something, or possibly integrated with something else. All the studying of it reveals is that once you identify what it's supposed to be connected with, the arcane writing of the book will then reveal itself. That's all you're able to glean from it.
Okay, interesting.
The Hammer of Making is a sister component to the Book of Ioun. The two seem to work in conjunction with each other. The hammer seems to be designed to make something upon which the book is expected to be set upon.
Makes something that the book can be set upon.
Okay, let's make something.
Do they need attunement?
The book and the hammer do not, but they must be wielded by someone of 16th level or higher.
Oh, well, I'm 17, so okay.
Yeah, we're all 17 now.
Okay,
and I'd also say in that reveal, you begin to realize that if you're arcane in nature, you'd have advantage in the utilization of the hammer in the book. If you're not arcane in nature, you would have normal utilization of the two tools.
I'm not arcane. Is anyone else arcane? No. Kai, are you arcane?
I don't know if that's considered arcane because I am alchemist, artificer. Is that arcane
you
then?
Use arcane magic.
Oh.
That would be the closest to.
I mean, I have a plus 11 arcana.
Yeah, you'd be considered arcane. You just use arcane within the physical manifestation of tools and objects.
Well, the hammer of making, that's kind of her of course you're going to give it to.
Yeah. So, those sound like you, Kai.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't sound like me.
Okie dokie.
But I got a green dragon scale shield, so I'm okay.
Good, I don't have to worry about these anymore.
You're happy?
I'm happy.
All right.
I'm not sure if I know how to build.
It bumps my AC up to a 21. That 1 point, it's important.
So we'll say early evening drifts on to late evening as you resolve all these equipment issues. So anything you guys want to do before settling in for a long rest? Or do you want to continue into the swamp at night? It's up to you.
I don't know if traveling in the swamp is
let's
the best
rest.
idea.
We've done this before. That's when Gulsha fell down the little pit thing. So I think we've learned not to travel at night in the swamp.
I think it was like 9 levels ago, but okay.
Yeah.
You think Gulsha is more observant?
Well, technically, we can't be slowed down by the terrain because of me, but
just to like wet your whistle there, Valev. I also have the idol of fire that makes a fire elemental when I throw it on the ground. So we could literally do a lot, huh?
Does that only do it once?
No.
Let's just summon 3 elementals all at once.
It does it once per day.
Once per day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does the idol automatically return, or do you have to find it?
I don't know. It's magic. It probably appears back in my hand. Jesus.
Let's
not get technical on this stuff.
The shield of elementals, is that
I
a
think
charge
Arena
thing?
just wants to take an opportunity to steal it.
And they're like, he throws it? Okay, I pick it up. It also acts as a bag of holding?
So
if he forgets to pick
but
it up,
the main
that's
difference between the idol of elemental summoning and the shield of elementals is that the idol's for a specific type of elemental. I believe it's fire elemental.
It's fire, yeah.
Yeah, fire elemental. And you will be concentrating on it when you bring it into existence. That's the only way you can control it. The shield of elementals allows you to attune to the shield and summon any one of 4 elementals from the 4 planes of existence into the material plane. Your attunement to the shield is your concentration. So that's the main difference between those two.
Cool. Just as a sidebar, if you guys want to go, I can lead us through the through the swamps, because it's part of. They did restore the favorite terrain feature, but it won't slow us down. It won't slow down our group's travel. We can't become lost, and even while we're engaged in other activities, we're aware of. I'm aware, or I can make us aware of all the danger that's around. So I'm your guide. All right.
Well, let's do it, because let's get a jump on it and get there.
I like that.
It's already
we
8
actually
o'clock
get regular armor?
somewhere on some plane of existence.
Regular medium armor. I mean,
Gul Shah sees beyond.
Oh, we're time travelers now. So
I saw myself 1,400 times.
We're time travelers now.
My mind is blown. I'm smoking wacky tobacco from the grove that we just came from.
Valev went black.
Yeah. Basically, as long as you're following in my footsteps, which we can travel normally, you're not going to fall into any pit traps because I'll know they're there.
I'm going to be on the flying carpet, so I won't fly into nothing.
So your favorite terrain would be affected by weather, correct?
Nope.
No, it doesn't say that.
Does it say it doesn't, though, either?
It doesn't say it doesn't.
Not affected by weather. There, look real close.
Just saying. I mean, these are all the things you guys are commiserating about as you spend the evening deciding on what you want to do.
But is that natural difficult terrain?
Okay, basically, while we're in my favorite types of terrain, my proficiency bonuses for all my skills are doubled.
Okay, that's fair.
And then while traveling, we're not slowed down by any difficult terrain. Your group can't become lost except by magical means. Even when you're engaged in other activities, you remain alert to danger. And then a bunch of forts.
You know how you can tell that it's 8 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
Cesare's frozen in fear.
I don't know if he can hear us or not.
So much for that awesome Wi-Fi connection.
Right?
Yeah. Well, no, it's the 8 o'clock reset button on the West Coast. Every single IP and VPN and hub just all got reset at the same time. Happens every time.
Oh.
Every time.
I don't know what it's called, but it's 10 for me.
While traveling,
It's almost 9 for me.
I want to do an investigation or perception. I'll do perception because my proficiency bonuses are doubled, so I have a 16
So
in that. So
for the purposes of the storm and the swamp terrain, give me a survival check, please.
Puppy, come
Alright.
here. Lay down.
I'm
You
still.
can
Lay down.
do it.
The love. Oh, there he is.
All right.
And he's got a green background now. What?
Yes.
Can I just help
the heck's happening?
and give him advantage? Oh no.
Yes, the green background just gave him advantage.
You know what?
Alright.
He turned off his stuff to change the background because he knew we were going into the swamp.
That is a 19 survival.
Total OCD move.
Lay down.
Hey, Haystack Games.
He was
hanging out
already
with us
green.
thank you.
I noticed.
That's
Yeah,
a
it was
19 with
green a
plus
while ago.
10. So
It's been green.
It was
yeah.
blue.
So 29.
no, just a 19.
Was blue.
So it's
19.
9 plus 10.
You begin to realize that the swamp itself is not the terrain you remember it from before. It's been altered. You can still see that the orc still stands there staring. He's never really moved. For the last couple hours, he's just been focused on staring into the depths of this swampy area. It has been raining now nonstop for at least 3 hours, and the water and mud are rising
Are you all right?
a great deal. You begin to realize that as you stand alongside the orc, and Trivia, who remembers his name?
Trag?
Trag, yeah, or
Trag.
yeah.
Trag?
As you kind of come up beside Trag and he sees you staring in the same direction he is, I'm not really sure what it is, but there's something about this place I do not like.
Well, the last time we were here, there was a monstrosity that turned some of your men to stone, so it's probably gotten a bit worse.
It's the
Yep,
smell.
but we killed that.
Can you not smell death when it's around you?
I look at Ghost.
Does a 26 perception let me smell death?
I mean, you can smell it on the air, and then
That's what arena smells like.
as his arm points into the very fringe of the beginning of the swampy area, you can see hundreds of forms milling about in the swamp. Hundreds.
What kind of forms?
Hard to tell from this distance, and it's
Do
just
they look-
too dark.
Humanoid, or do they look animal?
With your perception check,
We had to go
Derek,
out
you'd
at
recognize
night.
them as some kind of humanoid, but nothing more distinct than that, as the rain and the darkness makes it difficult to really kind of pinpoint what they are.
All right.
And then you watch as Trag's arm motions to the right and the left, and you just see continuation of forms kind of milling about. They stumble and move backwards and stumble. And now you're beginning to see these great swarms of insects kind of coalescing almost in like small groups of clouds in and out. And there is now this strange greenish haze kind of permeating up through like where the water is fetid and stagnant.
Hey, Gulsha, you can like just detect undead, can't you?
No.
No,
Why
I'm
would you think
useless.
Gulsha, is that
Use your divine
that a-
sense.
Ghost off?
Use your
Yeah,
divine
is that a
sense.
bunch of dead guys?
Yeah.
I can control undead. Is that what you're talking about?
Divine
Oh,
sense.
aren't you
It's a level
divine
2
sense?
thing.
Yeah.
Paladin thing?
Come on, man.
You're a pally, right?
Hmm.
What are you talking
He
about?
used to be until he forgot what it was to be a pally. You know, he's too busy thinking about that mouse fight we're going to have tomorrow night.
Oh my god. Let's not bring that up before it's here. Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
Second level,
goodness.
the show.
We're all gonna die tomorrow. We're all gonna die.
Are you talking about my
Possible.
spells?
No, it's a
No,
it's a
it's
regular
a-
paladin
ability.
It's a
feature.
Yeah.
Should be under
Yeah.
Divine sense?
Yes.
You mean fiends and undead within 60 feet?
Yeah.
Why would I use that? You know what we're up against. We haven't been up against an undead since I've fucking been on this adventure.
Yeah, we've been up against fiends.
We've been up against this stuff, and it's not. They're all constructs. There's no undead.
I gotta
They
clean up a
fiend
mess. I'll be right
celestials
back.
are undead.
I gotta clean up
Hey,
a mess. I'll be
might
right
as well roll it out.
Yeah.
Might as well roll it out.
It doesn't hurt to check.
Fine. Is there any undead, Jason?
There's hundreds.
Yeah, as you focus on the area where Derek and Trag are kind of looking at, everywhere that you can see with your sense of understanding the space that they're pointing at, you get the sense that there are waves and waves of undead creatures by the thousands, up to the point of where your sense dissipates beyond that you can't sense anymore. The swamp is filled with the dead as far as you can tell.
See,
damn.
isn't it good to try some abilities here and there, Gulshaw?
No, I don't sense any undead.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding.
Hey, Apollo, why don't you go running into the edge of the swamp really quick? Tell me what you see.
How many
Wait.
We can't go this way.
how many people can you take on your carpet?
Like
About
3, I think.
3
Himself
before
and
it's
2
overweight.
others.
Let me see, because there's a weight limit to it.
All right, so they're not. They are undead, or they're not undead. Sorry, I had
They're
dog-
undead.
They are.
Well, that's good because that means that we can,
I can-
turn them.
I can make
Destroy
them.
Dang. I don't think I
can
can
make 'em
Gulshaw
undead.
Gulshaw describes their number in the thousands.
So we can have 2 of them on our side.
We can't go this way. Yay.
Whittling
Isn't
away,
that great?
whittling away. Jason, did you say that the Shield of
This
Elemental
was a
Summoning
great
had a
idea.
certain amount of times they could do it per day?
Once per long rest.
Once
I'm sorry,
per long
once
rest.
per day. No, sorry,
Okay,
once
so-
per day.
It can carry
24.
1,200 pounds, but its flying speed becomes 20 feet if it while carrying over 600 pounds. So anything under 600 pounds, I can go 40 feet every 6 seconds.
Well, in that case, let's ferry. Can you take Arena and Valev to the mouth of the cave, and then they can secure it, and then you come back and we'll ferry ourselves in small groups.
Whoever's trying
How?
to remember where the entrance into the base of the mountains are,
I know where it's at.
give me, since you do know where it's at, give me survival with advantage.
Okay.
I was just gonna say, can he point to it and I look with my mild vision?
Well, you guys are pretty far. I mean, the swamp is days across.
Oh, okay.
All right. That's
Yeah.
23 total.
23. I mean, slogging it out by foot, you figure it's 2 days to Mud Knocker, and then another day or so beyond that to get into the roots of the mountains.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking Gulshaw to fly people over the swamp to the mouth of the cave.
Yeah, but how many orcs are with us?
We don't need the orcs.
We don't need them
They can
to.
leave.
We don't
Well-
need that.
Man, Gulshaw is in
We
a
might
mood
need
tonight, right?
All right, I'm gonna do what a ranger does.
Why should we leave? They're just going to turn into undead. We have to fight. Why do we want them to stay here?
I'm gonna do what a ranger does, and
I should just
We
kill them
should-
now, save them the suffering.
we should wait
We're
till
not gonna kill
morning
them.
because I don't have dark
Oh,
vision.
God.
So we should probably find someplace secure to hunker down for the night.
But isn't the swamp growing? The water's getting the
Do you want to use
undead
my goggles of
removing our
night
way.
vision?
Well, are we in the swamp or on the edge of it?
You're on the edge of it. You're like
Yeah.
a couple hundred feet back at the edge where the murky water kind of begins, and then the very high dense undergrowth and the green gas is permeating up. The smell and the smell of rot is kind of emanating in waves, and insects are buzzing all around.
Yeah, I'd prefer
So
scouting
going
out
through
when I'm
does
able to
not sound
see.
good.
Okay.
You want to use my goggles?
Yeah.
Well, do your goggles give night vision?
Yeah.
Oh. Cool. Then yeah, I'll take the goggles and then I'll scout for the night a little bit for like an hour.
I'll go with you. I got a I got a plus 14 to my survival.
Can I just use the clarity and make an invisible sensory?
What does that do?
You create an invisible sensory within range of a location familiar to you, or an obvious location that is unfamiliar to you, such as behind a door or corner or in a grove of trees. These sensory remains in place for the duration, and it can't be attacked otherwise or otherwise interact. When you cast the spell, you choose seeing or hearing, and you can use the chosen sight to see through the sensory as if you're in that space, and it's up to a mile as an action.
I don't think you've been in the Pim Swamp yet, have you?
Yeah, that's why I said it's an obvious unfamiliar location.
Okay, so what are you trying to glean from this? Within a mile of... So you have a mile effectiveness, correct?
Yeah.
So what are you trying to understand?
Kind of just see kind of if there's any dangers farther out, maybe, in the direction that we're going.
I will say between yours and Valev's abilities, his to see, and yours to use his sensory awareness, there is no break in the amount of threat. In other words, there could be tens of thousands of undead deep, deep, and deep into the swamp. I also say with your and Valev's mile understanding of this space, every now and then you see like a puff of tendril greenish cloud come up and like kind of course up and over the forest or over the swamp, almost like a massive hand, and it dips back down into the canopy of the swamp. And then you can see another one come up and dip back down as well.
Wonderful.
I don't think I'm going to waste my casting of Arcane Eye then, because it just sounds bad anyway. And I know I could see as far away as I wanted to with my Arcane Eye, but this just sounds bad.
I'm good.
I'll save that for something else.
Yeah, then we should probably just fly over the swamps with Golshaz. Actually, could we just ride Arena's purple worm through the swamp? I mean, it's a what, gargantuan?
It's gargantuan, but it's
we'll
only
have thousands
undead.
of those things on us. It'll pull it down. We'll all get thrown off.
It's
brutally
undead
murdered.
as well. It's undead as well. Maybe it won't notice because it's an undead thing just slithering along through undead things.
Maybe.
Or we could just fly. It's fine.
We can just fly.
We could all fly.
Okay.
How long have
So
you been in this
can we
adventure?
call some eagles?
Yeah,
Let's talk-
yeah, exactly. The
Let's
eagles.
talk to Trag and say goodbye, and thank you for getting us here.
Get out of here
and,
before you die.
Yeah.
I think that was kind of their plan to get us there.
That's it.
But we're probably gonna just fly
Yeah.
over all of this.
They're plains orcs, not swamp orcs.
Yeah. So talking to Trag.
Fair.
What is your
I'm
plan?
not muted. We're going to fly over all of the undead. That way they don't hold us up. They're not going to stop, slow us down. And let's get us to the opening of the cave.
So you and your friends intend to fly over this?
Yes.
Well, me and mine will make our way back to defend Whist from whatever's coming our way.
Yeah.
I
Awesome.
don't think this place is what you think it is. There's something about my people that have always been finely attuned to a land that's dying. This land in front of us is dying. Something is manipulating it, absorbing its existence and substance. I can feel it in my bones. Be cautious, Mistress Serena.
Like what? Yeah.
Well, is there a way around it?
I wonder if it's like what happened to the Grove.
Well,
There-
Mudknocker's in the middle of it.
There are many routes around it, but my understanding was, based on the entry point that you and yours are looking for to find your way back into the Firewarns, this is the most direct path for that. All other routes either take us too close to the forces moving down from the Jasper Mines, or take you further up north towards the Maw, puts you days on the outskirts of the mountain range. This is the fastest way to what you seek. If you and your friends feel that flying over it will gain you the advantage that you need, but there's something else here. It is unseen to me, and for that, I apologize. I wish I knew why I felt this way about it, but I am unsure.
When I did my detect, did I detect any fiends or?
No, but the amount of undead here is so unnatural and so disconcerting. There is something else in the underlying surface of this place. Something. It's hard to focus on.
Valev, was this one of the places that you saw one of the Merkel avatars? You saw 4 of them, right?
When I touched the gauntlet.
When you touched the gauntlet.
Yeah. Oh, you touched
he
the
froze.
gauntlet.
Yeah. Was this one of the places?
There was the.
Am I back?
Yeah, you're
back.
kind of back. Yeah. There was the old.
Is this the one of the places?
Well, there was the old Jasper mining colony, where you saw the Maker of the Dead.
Mm-hmm.
There was the Summoner, the Pit Summoner. There was the Merkel of Knowing, the one that was focusing and managing to get the cultists organized and to influence the great masses that are being sent out to do their bidding. And then there was the more resilient avatar that was focused on the remnants of the fractured library.
Okay. So none of them sound like they were in the swamp.
Check. Send word to Max.
About?
Ask him if he could just. He's been there. Couldn't he just teleport us there?
Yeah, Max is currently traveling with Scorch in an attempt to try to find one of the missing land titans.
Yeah.
Land Titans are fucking-
So, Valev, I think our best course. Yeah, I think our best course of action is for Valev to get us some eagles to fly high over it. I'm talking like out of reach of
Stratosphere.
everything. Yeah, I'm talking out of everything.
13,500, right where there's oxygen.
Whatever
You guys are like, you guys have to travel so high, you're high as fuck.
Whatever those things are reaching out of the canopy, we don't want to be anywhere near the canopy.
We're dying of oxygen deprivation.
I want this to look like a model from how high we go.
Like the oxygen bags drop down from my carpet. Okay.
Your summoner of eagles was
I hope you
frozen, so
guys-
I'm not sure what he's saying. Yeah, we couldn't hear anything, Malev. You were
say
cutting
anything.
in and out and freezing.
Ah,
Okay, good. I thought that was just me. I was like, crap.
how long does the flight? Do we think the flight will be, or need to be?
Well, I mean, it's 3 days by foot to get there. It's probably a day travel by flying, without taking a break and traveling as quickly as possible, and trying to avoid the effects of the swamp. You're looking at a day's worth of travel at least.
Could we not just sleep on the things?
Okay. Perfect.
I will summon through my staff then, because those last 24 hours.
Correct.
I believe 8. I can do 8 eagles.
Do we need that many?
Because I CR quarter, I believe so.
Summon an air elemental that will push
I'm
us.
going to use them. We're going to have a couple extras.
Bring anyone else with us?
Yeah, we can load our bags onto them so we don't over encumber the other ones, because some of our equipment is heavy.
Yeah, and also it'll be good to just have a couple too that fly ahead for scouting.
How much does Ghost weigh?
In his new form, his fully mature form, I mean, you're probably looking at 400 to 500 pounds.
800.
So he could ride on the carpet with Gulshaw?
He would be the only one able to ride on the carpet with Gulshaw.
Right, but the rest of us could ride on eagles.
Correct.
He couldn't ride on an eagle.
Correct.
Hey, eagles are way faster,
put me overweight.
than the carpet.
The carpet will slow you down.
The carpet will only be going 20 feet per round.
Okay.
Kai, you got the flying one.
Ghost
Why
is
don't you
undead.
put him in your thing?
Well, that means pulling the worm out of my thing.
You can leave it
I
here to deal with the
actually
undead.
gave Derek
Just have
my
it eat the
fly.
undead.
Isn't there like a one pet
Derek has my fly
maximum in this
potion.
party?
Yeah, but it's only 10 feet, so.
Are you
And it
making,
only lasts a minute.
Derek has my fly potion, but he can give that to if you want. You could give. Well, my potion only lasts 10 minutes though, so fly won't really help.
I was like, well, maybe. I was like, but yeah, I forgot it lasts only like 10 minutes.
This is a combat potion.
No.
How fast is the worm?
Yeah. Or in a pinch, healing potion.
Ooh, it can still burrow. It's fine. I'll just tell it to follow me. I think it can sense me.
Underground.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It can utilize its tremor sense to maintain its connection with you.
Yeah.
So the question of the day is, are you making your way towards Mudknocker first or going straight to the caverns?
Straight to the caverns.
Okay.
All I need to hear is croaking before I die.
Straight to mud caverns.
Out of character.
Okay, I'm done.
We didn't come out in the cavern with Philip. Are we going to the cavern with Philip, or are we going to the cavern behind Mudknocker the Philip Prime one?
That was the hatch. That was the egg hatchery.
We're not going there, right?
No, we're not going to that one.
Okay. So we're going to the one behind Mudknocker.
We're going to one where we were riding on the back of a T-Rex.
T-Rex.
Yeah, somewhere up there in the left-hand corner.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where Derek left for a little bit. He led the
Mudknocker's on their own. They're probably already overrun with undead anyway.
Oh, that's terrible. But they're all up.
We could do a flyby.
They have like treetop.
We could do a flyby and see how they're doing.
We
Kai, we're not killing them all.
We can't take the time.
Yeah. Whist is under attack. Mudknocker's probably under attack.
The best thing to do is get there and get it done.
Yeah.
And
deal with whatever is causing this storm. We got to stop.
We can't take the time.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, look, there's Scorch. He's over there. That's apparently.
Well, wait a minute. That might be a side quest where we could level up, though. So out of character, that could get to 18th level before we hit the baddies.
Yeah.
So looking at your maps, remembering where the Jasper mining colony is, and then taking a moment to understand the swamp.
Question,
and
sorry.
Yeah.
the place that we're going directly, is that a place that Valev has been? That even like for a little bit?
No, that was never a known relic hunting location.
No, I meant when I was first traveling with everybody. I was there when everybody got swallowed by the snake and all of that. And
you know about the swamp itself, but you don't know about the warrens that they're trying to get to. You just know about the swamp.
The warrens? No, he turned into an undead T-Rex, and we rode it on a.
That was Max that did that.
That's Max that did that.
Yeah.
Valev came after we got back from here.
Correct.
Okay.
And the only thing that was involved by Valev is that Valev is familiar with the Pim ruins because he would visit there often to retrieve relics, and the Pim ruins are 2 days north of Mudknocker.
That's a bummer because I forgot I have transport via plants, and if I had been there before, we could have just opened up a tree trunk and we could have teleported to there.
Awesome.
True.
But I need to have seen it. So that's not. Never mind. Sorry, continue, Jason.
No. You guys are in the process of summoning eagles and figuring out who's riding doing what.
And
Sorry, I'm looking up new spells. I forgot I got these. Windwalk.
Oh,
we can turn into a gaseous form and fly, basically.
Oh, how long
does that last?
It lasts 8 hours, but we would have a flying speed of 300 feet.
Oh,
Jesus!
Wow,
dang!
Whoa!
Me and up to 10 willing creatures.
Whoa!
We assume a gaseous form, and we appear as a wisps of cloud. And while in that form, we have a fly speed of 300 feet, have resistance to damage from non-magical weapons. Only actions a creature can take in this form are the dash action or to revert into its normal form. Reverting takes a minute.
So
during which we're incapacitated.
With this knowledge, because it's favored terrain for you, Derek, go ahead and give me survival with advantage.
All right, picking some decent dice.
Lev, how much does
nice. 28.
28. Kind of doing some fast math in your head at the speed of the flying of the eagles versus the windwalk. Instead of a full day, you could probably make it across to where you need to get to in 12 or 15 hours, depending on the weather.
The windwalk only lasts 8.
So at some point, you would have to stop and recast.
I only have 1 6th level spell slot.
Yeah.
Okay, then. And if I do the math, calculating for us going to Mudknocker and then as like our stop off point and then going to the cave, because Mudknocker's like, is it like at the halfway point?
That feels like an 8 and 8 math to you. It's like 8 hours to Mudknocker, take a break, and then 8 hours to the Warrens.
I'll relay this to the party.
At which point we could either do eagles or take a long
So I
rest.
take cotton out and stick it in my ears.
We know it's bad in the swamp right now, and it's probably going to be bad when we get to Mudknocker.
Well, hopefully they're holding out, so we'll see.
Was that your inspiring speech, Derek? You
Yes.
Hopefully they're not all dead. You're inspired. 19 hit points.
Hey, at this point, that is an inspiring speech.
Yeah.
That's how grave this is.
I would say, because I know it's been a while, that the population of Mudknocker had already been abandoned, and they had moved into Whist. And they were already participating in the first defense of the first siege of Whist. Chances are Mudknocker's not populated. It's probably been abandoned at this point.
Okay.
But
So
they
a
did
quick
have
stop
tree
and a
houses.
quick leave.
Yeah, we
were
did have
above
tree
the
houses we could get in.
That were above
Undead
the
can't
water
climb.
line. We could secure the
Oh, good,
area
good.
by severing the ladders and climbing.
Yeah, we could just fly onto the tops of the tree houses and chill
Yeah, I
out
don't
there.
think we have to sever the ladders. We just roll them up.
Yeah.
Oh, sever.
Yeah.
Alrighty.
Land in them, roll up the ladders, and
He's back.
then rest,
Okay,
and then
so-
take off from there.
That's the plan.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cool.
All right.
We're in agreement. All right,
And,
Valev.
Cool plan.
Ghost can just be a cloud, so he doesn't have to.
I missed it
Yeah.
all. What are we doing? I missed what we were talking about.
Cloud.
I spaced
You're
out for a
turning
second. What's
everybody
going on?
into gas.
Cloud.
I could do this once.
Mud
Are we going to be
knocker.
able to sleep?
It depends on the situation of Mud Knocker.
Mm-hmm.
So we're gonna use.
We may have to take eagles out in emergency pinch.
Yeah. We're gonna
Then-
use the tree houses at Mud Knocker. If we can secure the
Are
tree
we gonna-
houses, we should be good.
So we could
Would-
sleep there.
Yeah.
Okay,
Would a
so
better
if we do
option
sleep
be-
there, I would have to. Then I wouldn't want to use my 6th level spell again, because I would want that for whatever we're gonna be doing when we get there.
So
in
we'd
case
want to
we need it
take
for battle.
eagles from
we'd
there.
Want
want
to take
Yeah.
the eagles from there.
Eagles
But if
first.
the eagles last 24 hours, we could just take the
Well-
eagles the whole way.
I think it's safer to go by gaseous form.
So wouldn't it be easier to go at least by Eagles for the first half, so he saves in case Mudknockers is more dangerous than we think? He could actually have that 6th level spell in preparation. Of
But if we have the eagles,
maybe-
we don't have to stop at Mud Knocker.
Yeah, but it's called even Eagles are probably gonna get still tired after 8 hours.
They're magic eagles.
But overall
The
time,
magic, yeah.
No,
The only problem is we're waiting for the
Guys,
carpet.
The Eagles
they're
only last
slow.
8
Yeah,
hours.
well, no, Ghostshot would be on
regardless.
an eagle as well.
Yeah.
Eagles take longer. It's only going to
and then,
take us
you're talking
by
about
gaseous form. It's only going to take us
No, with my staff, they're 24.
16 hours.
Oh, 24. Okay.
Yeah, it's based on the power of the staff. They're a unique summoning.
Okay.
But the problem is that it's 300 and something feet
So with
around as opposed to whatever they fly around. It's going to take us longer to get to Mudknocker than it would be.
versus 80.
Jason said it's going to be 15 hours or 16 hours gaseous form going
Total.
all the way across.
Yeah.
So we're going to have
You would
to do it
you
by
would
gas.
have to cast it twice.
We have to
He
cast
did
it
also
twice.
have an action. He did say in the spell that we could do a dash action as that. Would that increase our speed? Any storyteller?
How
No.
frequently
well,
can you cast
that's
it?
all that we can do.
It's
Mhm.
300
We
feet.
will only
yeah.
be able to have.
Well, every round if we
How
dash, it
frequently?
doubles the amount. It
Yeah,
doubles
so
the.
it'd be 600.
I could
be 600 feet.
I don't think that's how that works.
Yeah,
And it
dash
doubles your
action.
speed.
Doesn't a dash action
I
No,
double
it's
your
I think
movement?
while
No, I think
in
it's
cloud
included.
form.
Yeah.
No. While in your cloud form, you have a flying speed of 300 feet. So that's your base speed.
Oh, okay.
The only actions that you can take are the dash action. In this
okay,
form
so yeah.
are the dash action or to revert into your normal form. So you have your movement and then you can do your dash action. So we should get 600.
Yeah.
But if
600,
that's
yeah.
built into the calculations
that-
that
all the way
Jason was
across.
telling us,
So with that additional information,
Yeah.
you begin to calculate that
intelligence.
if you were to do this
Natural
for
one.
straight 8 hours
Swear.
of dashing to take advantage of that advanced speed, you will make it to the entrance of the Warrens on the other side of the swamp in 8 hours, but everybody will have a point of exhaustion.
All right. I'm fine with
And-
that.
Will have been dashed
We can-
the whole
I'll
way.
be down a 6th level spell slot.
We can
Another
rest.
That's the
question.
one I have.
We can
We'll
rest
all
once we
need a long
secure.
rest.
Yeah, we can rest once we secure the
Are you
mouth
sure?
of the.
Yeah. Once we get somewhere that we can rest securely.
That's up to the other guy in the bottom corner there, right? That's not up to me, but like
We have no
Yeah.
clue what's going to be there when we get there.
we can work to secure
Yeah.
the
fair.
mouth of the cave as best we can to prevent, hopefully, some encounter at least
Or they
for 8
don't-
hours.
Or they don't know anything about it, and we can sneak in there to one of the inner areas in the cavern and get a rest in.
Yeah,
Another
exactly.
question is,
Okay.
since we did probably get a long rest before this, do I still have my 3 levels of exhaustion?
Yeah. You do.
So this would easily almost kill me
Why? Wait.
if we did that.
Get that worm ready to make a
Wouldn't
main
It's
we
been-
day.
have-
have helped you.
Yeah, we've had 2.
Don't we have
Because how
lesser
long did it take?
restoration?
How long did it take
Can
us
you
to
put
get
Apollo
here?
in the necklace?
Yeah, we had to have had a long rest. We traveled here.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
traveled to the edge of the swamp, which took a day. You left in the morning and got there in the evening.
Yeah, and you said that it was
Apollo
there's such a
slept
way
the
you could take
whole
a
way.
long rest while we were traveling.
He was
Oh, that's right,
snoring
because
so
it was
loud
late
on the
at
back of
night.
his
Yeah.
It
neck.
was late at night.
So, Apollo, go ahead and take one of those ticks off. That's fine. They'll drop you down to 2. That's right, because it was an overnight journey to get to the edge
And we were
of the swamp.
sleeping on the backs of goats.
Correct.
Yeah.
I imagine I did it with Vlev's, not Vlev's,
All right,
his tower.
Oh, you know what I can do? Hang on a second.
Apollo.
Just a
Should we
second.
hunker down for the night and get an 8-hour rest, and then do a gaseous form travel to the mountain?
No, I'm gonna cast Greater Restoration on him.
Okay.
That takes care of one
I was
point
gonna
of
say I would
exhaustion.
have done that during. I would have done that also during the traveling for sure.
Okay,
But
so
if I
with
have to, I'll do it
arenas,
now
that's
also.
no,
I
that's
have-
fine. No,
yeah.
we'll say you did it before, and then arena's done the final one.
Yeah. I
So
didn't
right
know
now, Apollo, you have no points of exhaustion.
Okay.
I know this kind of
So by
sucks,
the
but
end
we
of the
have to
gaseous
work out
flight,
the logistics.
we'll
Yeah, I gotta
all
work out
have
the
one.
Yeah,
logistics.
gotta.
Yeah.
And then we'll all have one.
So we'll all have one when we arrive. Fine. Okay. Good to know.
All right.
And so we get
I am.
there, we rest it as soon as possible once we clear it, regain
Yeah.
what we can, and then
But we'll have gained
Gung-ho.
time doing this. So
Yeah.
and not
Oh,
letting
a
any
lot.
of the undead. Yeah, hopefully.
Yeah.
So let's
Like,
yeah, heck of
all
a
right.
lot.
multiple
Great
days.
stuff, Lev.
Multiple days.
Alright.
We got this. We got this. Thank goodness for that
Well,
level
yeah.
6 spell
It's
slot,
okay.
baby.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. Good
Good
job.
math.
Good
I was like, I
thinking,
have
Valev.
something. I have some spell. Druids can do cool
Give yourself
shit.
a D100 of inspiration.
Hey.
We'll need it.
I still haven't
I
used
love-
my last inspiration.
You can always tell when Gulshad's getting cranky because he takes over the game for me.
I'm messing with you. You know I
He's
can.
like, you're doing this. We're doing this.
Take your plus 30 rings of protection. Put them on. Let's go.
So, in preparation of this, insane sprint across the space, so does that mean both Dudley and Ghost will be
Ghost.
missed?
It's
Yeah.
up to 10 creatures, so
Okay. Just double checking. That's 8 creatures. There's 2 additional.
Including
Slots
the
if you
worm,
need 'em.
right?
Yeah, you do the worm.
I'm gonna look
Going.
at Trag.
Yeah, if
No, the
needed.
worm
Tremor.
is in the necklace. Worm is in the necklace.
He's
In the
gonna.
necklace.
I'm gonna
Okay,
look
good.
I'm gonna look at
Cool.
Trag, and I'm gonna say, do any of your men want to come with us?
I don't think they can. They should, honestly.
They kind of all look at you and then look at the swamp, and there's no immediate volunteer.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank
No.
you.
I'm good.
I mean,
Smart,
at some
very
point you
intelligent.
watch as like 24 grotesque forms stumble out and then stumble back in, almost as if they're just put
Somebody
in
had
place
pushed.
and they're just shambling amongst this place.
Yeah. All right.
They're trying to block
Valev
us.
just quietly under his breath goes.
Gulshaw, give me an insight check.
Inside. 24.
24. Since you're the only one to kind of blurt it out,
Yeah.
this is a concerted effort. Excuse me. This is a concerted effort, from your opinion, that they are attempting. This is a defensive condition. They're doing their best to stop you from approaching on the ground. You can assume there's a threat by air.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
but
And
Which is
as
while
a
we're in
gaseous
gaseous
form, I
form-
think it's
Come
a
in
safe.
helpful.
Yeah.
It's the safest way to travel.
We
I
just
think,
look like a cloud. We literally look like wisps
Mhm.
of cloud.
now.
I will give you
So
one last
unless
piece
they
of
have
advice.
true sight,
I will give you one last piece of advice. They have restored the weave for their purposes.
So there might be wards or something.
Just saying.
Are
You guys
wards
don't have a
gonna
lot
pick
of
up
familiarity
clouds?
with the arcane anymore because it's been absent for so long. And they concluded their ritual of bringing the arcane back for their purposes. And that was something that you gleaned from the way this manifested kind of situation had come about with the eruption of the volcano, this sudden vast undead field in front of you, this noxious cloud that's fuming up from the effect of the undead in front of you.
No,
all of
you
this
need to lay down.
feels like power. This feels like
Down.
power to you.
This
And
feels
it's
like
only-
a DM trying to stop us from getting to where we need to go.
You are, they're aware of you. You killed one of the avatars.
Alright.
You
have another
prevented the
question.
life tree from allowing the World Eater back into existence. They are very much aware of you, and
Yeah,
they are
kind of
now
a big
pulling
deal.
out the stops to prevent you from gaining access into the Jasper mines.
So they could technically like cast a dispel magic on our
Can they attack
On a cloud.
On a cloud.
on our clouds, and we fall.
If
now we're
they
in the middle
have
of the
true
swamp.
sight or have some other way of sensing that a magic cloud is floating by and wisping by, then I think we have something to worry about.
Yeah,
But
we do.
it also says that if a creature is in the cloud
Yeah.
form and is flying when the effect ends, it just says when it ends. It doesn't say if it's like dispelled or anything. That we descend 60 feet per round for 1 minute until we land. And if we still haven't landed after a minute, we fall the remaining distance. So
Right,
we
it's
need to
almost
be.
it's kind of like feather fall near the tail.
So
end
we
of
need
the
to be
effect.
aware
we
that
have
we
time to
cannot
deal
be
with-
too high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
60 feet per
For-
round. So 60 feet for 6 seconds. So 10 rounds.
We'd be 600 feet.
600 feet up, and we'll be
600
safe.
feet up.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
And we
Yeah,
have a
that-
hit point, so we can fall another 600. So 1,200 feet up. We're good.
That would also.
I
It
don't
also.
think, no. That's
I-
not
We
how-
also.
I love
It
Templar
also gives
math.
me the
Templar
reaction
math is the best
time.
Let me
math.
roll your
That's
damage
all.
from hitting the ground.
Alright.
We also have Featherfall. I believe.
Yeah. We have Featherfall with Kai.
Yep.
Yeah.
I do.
Alright.
So-
So we can secure ourselves if
I can only catch
Like-
us though.
well, even so,
I
600
don't
feet.
know
Are
if
you
I can
really
catch
going to need to
those
use Featherfall
animals.
if we have a 600 feet buffer?
Yeah.
We don't know
All
how
right, well-
strong their stuff is.
I
All right.
guess we're going to have to try us out.
Or
we
if
got
we can get the eagles in there fast enough to catch us.
I mean,
Let's do
it's,
this thing.
Actually, the eagles could fly in
round.
fast enough to catch us. I could summon
Yeah.
some eagles in time, last minute,
Okay.
Yeah,
last second if
doesn't
we
let
have
them
to.
in.
If we're 600 feet up. Yeah.
Okay.
So with that, you say
Which,
goodbye
first
to
of all,
Trag.
can we just say how amazing, like, cinematic that would be? Oh,
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
guys
Okay.
say your goodbyes.
We all go. "Whew."
like
Okay,
we're
say
all
goodbye.
falling, and then all of a sudden,
All right, guys, let's let Jason narrate. He's trying to talk.
That's all right. You guys go ahead.
Yeah,
You're fine.
Let's go.
As the IT latency monster
lag.
creeps in. No, I knew it was the lag. That's why I wasn't worried about it. I was just waiting for it to catch up. As you guys say your goodbyes to Trag, formulate your plan, bring up the idea of fallback plans, and all of you agree that this will be a mad sprint across this infested place. Valev, you cast the
Yeah.
spell, correct?
Oh, I tell Dudley, or I tell Ghost that you know what's going on, what we're doing.
What are we doing?
We're gonna make you a cloud,
Why?
and you're gonna follow us
Oh, okay.
As fast
as
we
fast
can.
as you can.
As good as any other place to die, I guess.
It's
we're-
a dog. Let's
I mean, I'm
roll.
going to enjoy watching Bill Shaw fall to the ground. It's going to be laugh fucking
It-
riot. I mean,
Yeah.
you've seen him. He by himself weighs like 1,000 pounds. I mean, look how fat he's gotten.
I'm not fat.
You
That might
can
just be
see,
his head.
you can see the donut dough coming out of the
Santa Shaw.
edges of the plate mail he wears.
Yeah,
Whatever, man.
wow.
the Templars, you know, have
The Templar donuts.
I cast darkness.
I fireball the darkness.
So one by one, Trag watches all of you turn into gaseous clouds as you begin to float upward. Free form and no longer within the permanent confines of gravity, you begin to drift and float above the swampy canopy below you. Everybody go ahead and give me perception checks. It is still raining and thundering and storming.
Can I just use my 26 passive?
That's fine, yeah.
We have no obstructions up here. I mean, it's the sky.
Fair enough.
Remember, everything's doubled.
Can I use my 20?
Oh
I
yeah,
got a
it is
mile's worth of
double.
sight.
So it's
Yeah.
technically
40?
what's 26 times 2?
52.
Yeah, I technically have a 52 right now.
Fair enough.
14.
Wait.
Oh God, I have a
Can I just use my
21.
40?
Yeah, I'm +5. No, I don't get a +5 on it.
You guys are a bunch of you know what? I've created divas. I have created 6 divas.
I get a
is what I've
52,
created.
so I see everything.
I got a 13.
I
and,
rolled good, thank you.
And Ghost
I don't
got a
have
natural
anything but a
1.
+2.
The
Just saying. Oh, wait, he gets
unnatural
advantage.
feeling for Arena and Ghost prevents them from really paying much attention. But for the rest of you, the
Nope,
beginning
he got a 14.
journey.
I forgot. He gets advantage.
Yeah. So the beginning portion of the journey is the first hour as you how high up do you guys want to be?
I think we should just to stay within
not more than-
safe buffer. How about 450? Does that sound good to everybody?
No, I think we should
No,
go
I
up to
wanna go up-
600.
We should go
At
up.
least
No,
600.
we should go up. I want to double that. I want to be at least 1,000 feet above the ground.
Yeah, because I don't want something to reach up and get us.
Because
All right.
Yeah.
even with the true sight, they won't be able to. So they won't be able to cast a spell.
And it gives us
to-
the time. It gives
All right,
us
then fine,
time
yeah.
to cast our spells.
So
Up and away we go.
yeah, so at this height, looking
1,000
down, you can see that the gas cloud is kind of creating its own little pockets of distortion where it looks like something is lunging upward and out in like a hand formation and then back down again. And they seem to get slightly higher each time they lunge out of the gaseous space. You could still see thousands of these undead creatures milling about below, but as you get deeper into the space, looking forward at 1,000 feet, you watch as these giant arms made of gas are now crashing into the space that you occupy. You don't get the sense that they know you're there.
Oh boy.
You get the sense they're aware of the magic that is passing through the area, and they're now attempting to grab onto you and pull you
Higher.
down. But they
Go higher.
Yeah, it's
Higher.
random at this point. Now you can see the beginning tendrils of lava flow within the swampy area as well. And now you can see great gouts of steam forming off in the distance. And by the end of your second hour of travel, you continue to go upward and upward. You get to the point of about 3,000 feet. And it's at that point you realize the tendrils can't quite reach that high. And from there, looking off in all manner of direction, you can see great swirling clouds off in the distance. Hard to tell what they are precisely.
Do they look
They seem
similar
to
to the
move.
storm clouds that the arcane ones that when Scorch blew up?
Nothing like it at all. They look like they're made up of dozens of individual flying creatures. You just can't quite tell what they are.
Oh, swarm cloud. Cool.
Does there look like there's any activity over
Nice.
to where the entrance is?
The available space for you guys to travel towards the remaining 5 hours of your journey towards the Warren entrance, there are great swarming clouds of creatures flying about. No matter which direction you look or try to go, something's going to try to cut you off. The measure is the level of danger required. But you also get the feeling they probably still don't know precisely where you are, but they are merely reacting to the magic of what you've become.
How does this work while we're in this form for getting attacked, Valev?
It doesn't say anything about
It says we have
being able
resistance,
to
right?
be attacked. We're gas.
Or we're immune from
Yeah,
bludgeoning.
While
I
in
have
this
the
floor,
gaseous
while
form
we have
spell
a flying
myself.
speed and resistance to damage from non-magical weapons. That's all it says.
Or resistance, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
For all intents and
we can still
purposes,
do that.
anything being done to you physically would be at disadvantage, and there'd be resistances included. It's almost as if you're invisible, right? You can still be attacked if you're invisible.
Yeah, we're wisps of smoke is what we are.
So you're still things that can be attacked. It's just virtually, it's almost impossible to attack you, but not completely impossible.
Right, because if you swing something through, like fog, for example, you're going to make the fog react and it'll move around it. But that's basically it.
All right.
All right, we'll keep going then.
Kind of ducking around the swarms.
And we probably have advantage if it's like my gaseous form spell, only way more overpowered than mine. You have advantage, I believe, on your dex, strength, and con saves.
We can't use spells while we're in this, so instead, I can use Vanish, which allows me and the group I'm traveling with to use Hide.
Which is a feature?
We can't do any other action except dash.
It's not an action. It is. Oh yeah, never mind. It's a Hide is a bonus action, so never mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
So at this point, as all of you see this activity around you,
not with my feature,
each of you describe for me a skill you want to use to help the group make it through this space. And this will require 2 checks. You've already made it through the first half of the leg of the journey. By elevating up to a certain height, you're avoiding the magical effects of the swamp. But now you've run into the physical effects of these massive swarms of harpy, wyvern, bats, these great mass swarms of creatures that have been cast out, up, and as high as possible, specifically to react to any kind of magic infiltration of this space. Now, this particular skill roll will have advantage because of the gaseous cloud form and the fact that they cannot see you, right? They only have a sense of where you are.
Can I do investigation then to try and find? I know, like a path. Not
you
really.
want to calculate a route through it,
basically.
Okay, give me an investigation check with advantage. We'll start with you, and then we'll move on to Gulshaw.
All right, then. That is
an action though, so
25.
25. Okay. Gulshaw, what do you want to do for your skill check?
Let me look. I think I'm going to use I will use my athletics.
Okay. Describe for me how you'd use that.
I'll use my athletics to move around anything that might be in our way and to help guide the party around things.
Go for it.
I think some of us should also do stealth, just to.
28.
Right, cool.
Not me.
Okay. Kai, what do you want to do for your skill check?
Arcana to kind of make sure we avoid the magical damage that we could possibly take, or magical creatures if possible.
Go for it.
Whoop. Drop my dice. Let me try that again.
Kevin.
That was not any better. So that makes it 19.
Okay, 19. That's unfortunate.
That's lovely. Thanks.
Sorry.
I
dropped my dice
Screwed the whole party.
Can she flash of genius herself?
As soon as
It was a 25 DC check.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I'll flash of genius myself. Add.
Oh
5
yeah,
to
you
that.
can. Absolutely. It's a good thing those
Yep,
meta
I'm gonna
potions are
flash
still
genius
following
myself. I know. I always forget I have that. So yeah, that makes it 24.
you. Okay.
Nice.
DC was a 75. So.
All right, Valev, what skill check do you want to run with to help guide the group through this particular area of the journey?
Well, I'm going to use my survival, and I'm going to guide us and have like the way that we move. Seeing as these are all flying creatures, they're all going to be very aware of where the air currents are and how
Correct.
things should be moving in the air currents. So I'm going to make sure that we as a group are staying in with the proper things, and we're not just a random cloud that's going against where like the natural winds are.
Got it.
Survival.
Go for it. Yeah, absolutely.
Brilliant.
Please don't tell me it was 2 nat ones. Please, dear God, don't tell me it was 2 nat ones.
So I rolled my Omni dice and I got a 10. But then at advantage, my Valev dice gave me a natural 20 for a 34.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, Arena, what do you want to do to help this part of the journey?
Well, I wanted to use survival too, but I'm gonna flavor it with my true sight. I mean, my eyes of ball.
Okay.
My ball eyes.
Your ball eyes. Your furry ball
I knew
eyes.
it. I knew it. You couldn't go more than a millisecond before breaking and just like giggling. I said ball.
No. These goggles are horrible.
One of the many reasons we love you.
That, wait. Where's Zia? Because she's
Use your
wearing
furry
a shirt.
goggles.
She's wearing a shirt that says ball on it. Zizi, come here.
It's like, no, Mom, I'm not a theater prop for your nonsense. No, Mom, I'm not a theater prop for your nonsense.
She's like staring at me underneath the desk.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, lady.
Exactly. She's pissy about the new puppy.
She really is pissy about the new puppy.
Oh.
I know. Okay, so my ball eyes. I'm gonna use my survival, and I'm gonna try and with my true sight that the ball eyes give me, my eyeballs.
I regret every decision I've made up to this point.
Hey, you're the one that made me pick a different god, so
I didn't make you do nothing. You
totally
did that
made
on
me
your
pick a
own
different
accord.
all right, next time I'll just let Apollo die.
You chose to save a child.
Yeah.
Next time.
What do I see?
And a child.
What do I see?
Yeah. So one of mine, I rolled a 1, which I'm going to re-roll because I'm a halfling.
I'm bad.
Okay. So I got 18 plus 9.
27?
27.
Okay. And last but not least, Apollo, what skill do you want to use to help guide the group through this first leg of the completion of this first leg of the journey?
I will be using stealth to kind of lead them as stealthy as possible out of any combat.
Okay, go for it with advantage.
If anyone can read it, it says "For love of balls." That's
wow, that is a horrible roll.
Then reroll. Oh.
Advantage.
That is advantage. That is advantage. It's
Stop trying to kill us.
17
with a plus 12.
So what was the total roll?
You rolled
16.
2 2s?
16.
You rolled 2 2s.
Oh, no,
I rolled a
you
4 and a 1.
So, with that, Derek, utilizing the newly acquired tendrils of volcanic activity and lava fields that have been blossoming from within the swamp, and using the gauge and understanding of where Mudknocker used to be, it is now a massive lava field. You use your investigative approach to this, and you're now guiding everyone kind of at the edge of the elevation you need to be versus where the great swarms of beasts are gathering amongst these great clouds. Gulsha, there's a moment when the entire group has to slam through an errant swarm of harpies. And Apollo, you're the only one that takes damage from this effect, as you take 31 points of slashing damage. But with Gulsha's effect of forcing the clouds out and the swarms away from the space that you're attempting to move through, Kai, you use your ability to then support Valev, and the two of you equally allow the group to form back into place. And between gauging the thermosphere and the way the wind drifts, it's a little bit tricky because the heat is now becoming an issue. And these great lava fields, and every now and then it's strange. You watch as maybe 30, 40 undead shambling creatures just vaporize into a lava field, almost as if there's really no care or consideration. And these vaporized corpses become an extension of this gaseous cloud that just emanates and grows ever larger. But this also allows you to buffet the air and the currents and to keep the group together. At one point, nearly losing sight of Apollo's form, you quickly swoop over and kind of force him back into the air currents, bringing you deeper and deeper into the middle of the swamp. Arena, with Ghost and Dudley's help, you begin to understand better what's going on here. But just as you're focusing on the group and trying to gather up the strength necessary to take advantage of what Apollo's attempting to guide everyone in his stealthful pattern and in amongst the different currents of air, suddenly a great swarm of wyverns just kind of buffets up in front of all of you, forcing you to have to dash through this as best as you can. I need everyone to give me deck saves. Apollo, you will auto-fail this because of your DC roll. You take an additional 41 points of slashing damage.
Is that halved?
Yeah.
Is that already halved?
No, it's not already halved.
Okay.
27, so how much?
So it was 32 at the first one, right? It was 32 the first one.
32 from the first one. So that'd be 16.
Mm-hmm.
And then half of the second one, too.
Correct.
It was 42. So it's
21.
Correct. So if you roll a 19 or higher, you will save passing through the cloud of wyverns.
I'm taking the damage for you guys. You're welcome.
Nope.
So total half damage is 21?
Correct. If
You're
you
all
save.
immune to this damage now?
And we all have that +5 from Little Shaw, right?
Yeah.
Correct.
All right. So me and Dudley save. So that's, what was it again? 40. What?
Don't forget to take it off your temporary hit
42
points.
slashing damage.
42,
Don't forget your 19
21.
temporary hit points.
Correct.
Yeah.
Arena got a 21.
Ow.
No, 22.
I got exactly a 19 with that. So, yeah.
Ghost got...
Perfectly techno. Thank you for the raid. Much appreciated.
Yay, raid! And it's Dex, right?
Correct. Deck save.
And we get +5. Ghost gets +5 too. So he got a 25.
Okay.
Is that magical damage?
No.
Definitely.
Okay, just checking.
Yeah. And you get the feeling that these creatures are doing exactly what they've been designed to do. And as you guys pass through this massive cloud of wyverns, they are disfigured. There are strange growths on their jaws and craniums. You can see great festering tumors on their backs. Their wings are shredded, yet they're still able to hold themselves aloft. And it's almost as if this cloud of wyverns has become this bizarre kind of organic hive mind of its own accord as it begins to kind of shift and move. And every now and then it does its best to kind of try to follow all of you. But for the first 4 hours of the journey, you managed to make it to the midsection of the swamp. And once here, you now begin to see massive oil fields or lava fields in all directions. There are great fountains of lava spitting straight up into the air, and now lava bombs beginning to and these lava bombs are coursing thousands of feet up, and great gouts of brimstone ash and pyroclastic flow are beginning to kind of rain down in your direction from the direction of the erupting volcano. It is getting difficult to see, even in this form. The great swarms are colliding with this maelstrom of activity all around you. For the next 4 hours, describe for me one last time a skill you want to do or use to make it through this last stretch of just chaos that's bursting around you.
Does it have to be a different skill?
It could be anything. It could be the same. It could be anything you choose, and however you want to describe and narrate it out. And we'll start with Derek again.
All right. Given the fact that we need to find the correct route to get through this and things like that, does this feel like something my perception would help with, or because investigation to me feels more like the finding thing, but my perception is just. Now I'll do investigation again because
okay,
as long as I'm leading, I get the bonus.
All right, give me a check.
All right. Oh, whoops! I rolled the wrong type of die for that one.
Now that's focus, my friends. That is focus.
All right, this one is 14 plus, let's say 26.
26. Once again, and I'm resolving each one individually this time. This time for you, Derek, it is chaotic. All of you are swooping in and out where great clouds of creatures form and nearly collide. You watch as just pyroclastic flow and rock collides in with them. Great gouts of flame and lava coming up out of the now self-destructive swamp below you. But you're using these patterns to good effectiveness. You're keeping the group together. You're following in and out, and they're following your lead as you traverse this space. Gulsha, what do you want to do to continue this?
Well, since I know there's an intelligence behind what's going on.
Okay.
I want to use my insight.
And you would also know not only is it an intelligence, but there's a bit of desperation as well.
Right. So I want to use my insight to help me understand how they're attempting to counter us, so I can counter their counter.
Go for it.
Okay.
I counter your counter, then they counter us, then we counter back.
I mean, not the greatest roll of all, but I got a 16.
A 16?
Yeah.
As you guys watch as Gulshaw is attempting to organize an effective kind of pattern behind Derek. Unfortunately, Gulshaw, you begin to realize that their desperation has created a pattern of randomness that you just don't. You find it difficult to understand what they're doing. And directly in front of the group, an explosion of lava coursing through the gaseous nature of yourselves. I need everybody to make dex saves, please.
And we get +5, right?
Correct.
And Apollo and I have advantage.
I got a 30.
Damn.
I got a dirty 20.
I got like an 8.
I also got a 30, and
my God.
Dudley also got a 28.
Okay.
Did not.
It was a
I was impressed
DC
with my
20.
22.
It was a DC 20 or higher. So if you rolled a 20 or higher, you will take no damage.
Oh.
If you rolled a 19 or less, you take 108 points of burning damage, which you will be resistant to in your gaseous state, so you can have that.
Ghost got 21 +5 is 26. So,
That would be higher than 20, yeah.
okay.
Gotta say, these are some impressive lava flows if they're able to fire 1,000 feet into the air.
Oh, these are geysers.
Three.
These are lava
Three.
geysers that
Three.
are
Magic.
exploding
3,000.
4,000 feet up in
3,000.
the air.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
They're
it's
magic, guys.
I
But I
can
mean-
barely see an airplane at that height. In fact, I don't even think airplanes go that high.
at this point you're actually
What's an
watching
airplane?
as the swarms of wyverns and harpies are just disintegrating as soon as these lava fountains just slam into them. This reeks of desperation. This is failure, and this is them responding.
How
That
does
is
he
what-
know that we're going this way?
He doesn't. He's set up
These
a
were
solution in
precautionary
case you
measures.
do. Yeah.
These are just countermeasures.
Kai, what are you doing to aid the
Okay.
group in this final leg
Thank you for that.
of the travel?
I'm going to use Arcana again and go for looking to avoid any more magical damage for sure and things like that.
Okay.
So that is, I can do math, 24. Again,
Ooh.
but
nice,
different roll,
again.
so nice.
I rolled a 23.
Well, I didn't have to flash of genius myself this time, so.
You watch as
Ooh.
these great sheets of lightning just unleash from the pyroclastic clouds above the volcano, and they streak randomly out in your direction. Great bolts of high energy arcane sheets just crashing out in your direction. You guys watch as Kai kind of nudges, moves, using her arcane interpretation of what they're doing to guide you underneath the currents and the flows. And you guys manage to avoid these great lightning strikes aimed randomly across the swamplands. Valev, what do you want to try to do for this
Clouds
last?
parkouring around lightning.
Yeah.
Clouds don't parkour. They
Love it.
participate or precipitate.
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 I'll
Parkour.
use survival again. And seeing as how we still have some swarms that are flying around us, if there I'll kind of like pay attention to where these geysers are popping up and see if I could potentially like time it to where one will, if they are getting close to us, could possibly get them as well. I liked that whole incinerating the enemies as we go by thing.
Yeah, fair enough. Go for it.
So that is a 24. No, sorry, 26.
Well, that's good because I
26.
rolled a 25. I rolled a
Yeah, I was
9
gonna do
plus. I rolled a 9 plus 16.
Beginning of our team.
Because the DC increases with each attempt that you guys make. Try to traverse through this space.
Well, that's
And
great.
as Velev is leading you down and in sharp turns around these great fountains of lava and these these cyclonic eruptions coming straight up, you watch as just clouds of these creatures disintegrate from these massive lava flows as Velev manages to make and guide you through the space. Arena, what would you like to try to do to help with the final leg of this journey?
I would like to not die.
Well, yes, we all have our asks. This is true.
I am going to. Well, I liked what I did before with the true side, with the survival and using my eyeballs.
Go for it.
Ugh.
That's some breathing. That means some shitty rolls.
Is she having contractions?
I know, right? Is it time?
It's like, is it mom?
She
Pause.
just
Was
gave
it-
birth to a Merkel.
Was and that's not +5 from Gulshaw, right?
No, it's not a save.
You use your inspiration.
You could if you had any. I don't know if you have any or not.
Yeah.
I gotta look.
He
I still
gave
have
some.
one. I still have one from a speech of Gulshaw's, actually. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Go for
so let's see. That made it that. Okay. Okay. And then we'll add. Okay. All right. What is a 17 plus 9?
26.
Okay.
I rolled a 22. So, because you've gotten deeper and into this dark space and this desperate attempt to stop all of you is playing out around you, you can now see the fringes and the edges of the arcane nature of what's going on down below. You can see these massive volumes of creatures milling about, some in fire elemental form, some in stone form. You can see great rending crevices of the land that are now just gorging out lava and gas and smoke up into the space. And then every now and then, as all of like a square mile of smoke coalesces around you, you can just feel like this presence that is almost like mummy style from the movie The Mummy, trying to form an attempt to find you. This great mouth opens and just closes harmlessly nearby as you swoop around the back side of it. And if we don't have our lucky Apollo to go last, Apollo, what are you going to do to guide the final leg of this journey down towards the worn entrance of the mountainside?
I just
anyone
love
guide
Arena's reaction. I just love Arena's reaction. God damn it.
Anybody have
We
guidance?
almost made it, guys.
Almost.
I'm gonna do
Guy
almost
Flash
the
is
exact
genius.
same thing. Yeah, almost the exact same thing as for Lev.
I've
Okay.
I'm gonna just kind of like bob and weave kind of the enemies, since they already know, they somewhat know that I'm there, since they saw me last time.
You get the feeling that what happened to you was a bad luck, as this all feels random and frantic, almost as if they're throwing everything up into the air because they actually don't know where you are.
Perfect.
Try to
They definitely
move
would
Everything we
myself
did
on
worked
Eagles.
out.
They
Yeah,
are
right.
shooting guns at spiders.
into into these enemies with an athletics check.
Okay,
Pissing-
go for it
pissing
with
in the dark.
advantage.
I really hope this is good. Okay, we're good. 29.
29. Yeah, that is a good roll.
I was like, we're good. We're good.
I rolled a
I was
22. for the
saving my
DC.
flash of
So,
genius just
I
in
rolled
case.
2 8s. The last time I rolled 2 8s.
So with that,
The same number.
as you guys just at the last moment, just this great swarm of harpies lifts up out of the swamp lava area and directly up, covering almost like a half square mile around you, and begins to tornado-like whip across the surface of the swamp and across in front of you. It's only at the last moment that you watch as Apollo's form takes on a physical form for just a moment, and then in a cyclonic effect bursts through the side of this flurry of harpies, and they just shred apart, clearing the last pathway down as all of you begin to drift downward and downward. You begin to realize the landscape below you, where the warren used to be, has completely changed. The amount of lava fields you're staring down at, the great like volcanic rock that's sticking up out of the surface, you can see all these newly formed fissures. But the mountainside you believe to be where it's located, you have 10 minutes left of your spell at this point. And you can see the mountainside you believe it to be located in, but the surface has changed. There are lava flows coming down the side of it, but you've made it through the barrier, and that barrier seems purposely left behind you. It assumes you're still out there somewhere. As you can see, it's still the whatever energy that's out there that's being cast up at you doesn't pursue you. It stays over the swamp. You make it through. You have 10 minutes left on the spell, and looking down, only the mountainside is familiar. Nothing else looks the same as it did before. What would you guys like to do?
We don't see the entrance that we had to the warren? No?
Nope, only the side of the mountain. The sheer 5,000 foot crumbling face of the larger of the mountains where you believe it used to be in that area. Swarming down the sides of it and in the valleys around it, it is filling with lava. The volcano is now omnipresent to your vision to the left. Its full 12,000 foot height of the volcano is now fully erupting at this point. Great, massive, pumice-filled clouds spreading out and deep into the Whist Valley below.
And
all right.
Arena.
We're coming down. Yeah.
Use your worm. See if you can find or make an entrance, or find where that entrance used to be. Point him in the right direction.
No, that's because we're still in gaseous form. So I'll investigate for a safe spot to like a cove or something like that, where the lava is being parted, or over with an overhanging rock, something like that. I'd like
safe spot. Safe spot without lava. I'm looking to.
Okay, so everybody who's trying to find a spot to land, go ahead and make either a survival. Give me a survival check.
Ooh, natty 20.
Okay.
I also got a natty 20.
Nice.
I got 29.
Okay.
No.
Wait, is it
I
plus
was going
5?
to jokingly say that I got a nat 20, but I just rolled a nat 20 and a 2.
I got an 18 and a natty 20. So either way, it would have been great.
I got a 10.
Me too.
I got a 10.
I got a natty 10, guys. A natty 10.
That means you don't have to pull off your shoes to count. That's
no,
awesome.
that's with a D8 of inspiration that I just have to mark
nap.
Okay,
so as a group, you begin to hover nearby. A few minutes goes by, but then you begin to see near the base of where a series of the edge of the mountains and valleys kind of collide in a natural formation. The lava hasn't quite reached the height of this space. There's a 2,000 foot elevated cliff face that's been newly formed by what could only be assumed either earth tremors or earthquake activity. And looking at the mountainscape, you begin to realize it's kind of blurry from time to time, almost as if it's still seismically active, as one by one, all of you land through the course of the final minutes of the spell onto this 1,000 square foot cliff face that's hanging over down into the valley where lava is kind of like spilling down into it. The volcano is off to your left, staring up at it off in the distance. And the great sheared off mountain faces beyond that, another 3,000 or 4,000 feet in height. Somewhere along this mountain face, you believe the Warren entrance used to be. But the surface has definitely changed, and you already begin to feel tremors building up beneath your feet. What would you guys like to do?
I would like to... Is it big enough to pull the worm out? The ledge that we're on?
Barely. Very much barely.
Everyone hug the wall. We'll hug the mountain. I'm gonna
we're
pull
on
the
a
worm
plateau,
out.
aren't we?
You're on a cliffside.
Cliffside?
1,000 square feet.
All right.
Yeah, go ahead and make just a real quick, just like perception check from here with my vision to see if we could find, if I could notice anything that looks like it used to be an entrance.
Sure, go for it. Give me perception.
I'd like to use his last
Apollo's very bad at
30,
this, but
What'd you get, Valev?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20? There's at least 1 or 2 spots on the side of the mountain that looks to be releasing more lava than some of the other like ravine areas have been ripped apart by the earthquake. You get the feeling that one of these 2 locations could be where the old Warren was, because there was discussions with the others about how they were chased out of the depths of the Warrens by lava flow. And looking at where the volcano is and where you guys currently are on the cliff, there's a section to your left about 1,000 feet up, and there's a section to your right about 2,000 feet off to the right that keeps it within your 1 mile of perceptive understanding. I mean, either one is possible, but you're not really sure what to do with the information. Both look dangerous.
All right. I will...
Send the worm to check.
Oh.
I mean, the worm is an
instantly
undead
greater
creature
restoration in
controlled.
myself.
I mean, the worm is an undead creature controlled by Arena, but it's not necessarily impervious from the effects of lava.
It's 1,000 feet up, or what
Yeah.
are their positions again?
So, Valev, are you
But it
sharing
can-
this information?
Oh, definitely. But the worm should be able to burrow through the cliff wall that we're on right now and to go into the volcano and then up towards that area. So it shouldn't necessarily be hit unless it finds a pocket of lava within the wall of the cliff itself. But with its tremor sense, it should feel where those sections of flowing earth are.
It does lose some of its ability to be self-aware because of what it's been turned into. It'll follow the commands of what Arena tells it to do. That seems to be its nature now, based on what it's become.
I mean, it could carve us a trail to lead up there, so just carving off the face of the cliff so that we could at least walk up without having to climb and fall to our deaths into a lava pit.
Okay,
He didn't even have the energy to say it with a smile. That was so cute.
honestly,
My laughs and my smiles are gone, man. This is where it gets serious. I don't want to be one of the they TPK'd 4 games before it ended.
honestly, that's not a bad idea to kind of like, we possibly could get a good stealthy way of like popping behind them or an entrance if we kind of followed the worm.
Oh, hey, I have a question. So when we were leaving the Warrens, it was like a structure, right? It was like a structure inside the mountain that
You
had been carved
remember?
out.
Yeah,
wasn't
you
like
remember
straight
the
cave.
exit to the Warren was made up of 2 massive granite gateways.
In that case, I cast Commune with Nature, which gives me a 3-mile magical sense of the area. I know the terrain, bodies of water, prevalent plants, minerals, and animals or people, powerful celestials, fae fiends, elementals, or undead. influence from other planes of existence, and buildings.
Give me an intelligence save, please.
Nice.
Intelligence? Yeah.
Yep.
I thought the weave was repaired.
Give me an intelligence save.
Oh no.
Alright.
It's not repaired for us
Oh,
specifically.
nat
though.
20 for a grand total of 22.
22. The save was a 24.
Plus the 5 from Gulsha. So
Oh,
27.
plus 5
There
from
you go.
Gulsha.
That's what you needed. So the
Right.
psychic
Yay.
barrier that you run into nearly causes your head to explode. You guys watch as blood begins to leak out of the corner of Derek's eyes, his ears, his mouth as he collapses into convulsions. And you'll take 126 points of psychic damage, halved to 63.
Ugh, that would have. Okay.
Can I reduce some of that?
If you want to take some of it, absolutely. You can like grab onto him to try to keep him under control. You can go ahead and reduce it.
Okay. How much would I reduce?
20 points.
Okay.
20? All right.
That's usually his average with his ability.
All right.
So now you guys watch.
I don't
Oh,
get
by the
anything
way,
from that.
you all also have a point of exhaustion right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I automatically used my greater restoration on myself.
Okay, so you are cured at that point.
All right.
You can feel more
You
earth
guys
tremors
want me to,
begin,
trust me.
earthquakes coming and going.
It's exhausted.
You're watching as rocks are tumbling down the sides. The cliff face kind of crumbles slightly from the tremor activity.
So I don't get anything out of that spell, huh?
No, something. There is a buildup of psychic energy somewhere down deep within the roots of these mountains that as soon as you try to use your arcane knowledge of this place, it was a rebound effect. Had you failed that save, your intelligence would have dropped to 0 and you would have gone unconscious.
I was already taking 100.
Oh.
Success. Whatever.
Oh, I know. I'm aware. This is big. This is big boy. This is big people pant wearing time, folks. This thing is desperate.
Yep.
It is desperate. It wants to bring its ritual into existence and complete what it's trying to do. You're just not sure what it's trying to do. It's
All
a
right.
So if we ran into this barrier,
this barrier feels to you, Derek, like an unfinished psychic will of something. And you get the feeling anybody trying to practice any arcane arts will be affected by it.
This isn't. All right.
Max probably knows.
Can I use my divine sense to just detect where maybe it's trying to keep us from?
Yes, I like that. You get the sense that the power that is fueling the very roots of the volcano, there's something there. There is something coming into existence deep down in that volcano.
Okay.
We need the worm to dig us a safe path to get down there.
And how far is the edge of the volcano?
From where you guys are, it's probably close to a half mile off in the distance at this point. Breathing is getting difficult now. The amount of ash and smoke will begin to affect you soon.
So could I use the Idol of Fire to summon the elemental, send him down into the volcano, and through the lava tubes to either A, find the entrance, or B, find out what's being made down there?
You can certainly try it if you want to.
Vlev. Would
I
an
can only use it
elemental
once per day, though.
be able to gust some of this ash from us, possibly getting this gas and smoke away from us?
It's getting worse by the
I
hour.
just heard Apollo say my name. I didn't hear what he said though.
I'm gonna go ahead and
We need to
I'm
get
gonna go ahead and
inside, is what we're saying now.
Go ahead, Gulshaw.
I'm gonna go ahead and try that.
Okay. You pull out the idol and you throw it in the direction of the volcano. And as you do, you watch as it shreds apart and this huge fire elemental comes into existence. And it hovers there and then immediately drops into the lava fields and then disappears. As you lose sight of it, you feel something in your pocket.
I feel down in my pocket.
It's the idol.
Okay.
Oh.
You get the feeling there's a limit. You get the feeling there's a limit to the range of control. It didn't get destroyed. It reached that limit that it could,
Get away from
operate underneath your command, hit that barrier of that limit, and then return back to the possessor.
All right.
And you get the feeling that was 1,000 feet.
Okay.
And I'll say at the very least, within that 1,000 feet, you would gain the insight of what it saw when it landed in the lava field. At the last moment of its existence, you could see great, lava tubes feeding from the very roots of the mountain itself. However, you also could see where collapsed caverns were exposed, and you could also see a possible location for where the worm might gain an egress in the direction of the volcano based on what the creature showed you. There is an area, there's a path that's currently untouched.
Okay, I explain that to Arena.
Okay.
Okay.
right.
I'm gonna cast Water Walk on all of us. Just
That's
saying.
a good one.
It
The
lasts
tremors continue.
for
The smoke is getting
it's an
thicker.
action. It's an action. And then I am going to bring the purple worm out.
You guys watch as this 350-foot long undead incarnation of the original purple worm just now lies there, strangely emanating a breathing noise, even though it contains no organs. It's just desiccated tissue and cartilage and bone. Its massive face and its open maw kind of look down at you, Arena. It's just kind of undulating and staring at you. Its bright eyes glowing with the energy of Baal.
And I am going to tell it what Gulshaw, to direct it to the area.
Otherwise, you have to take notes and do it verbatim. I totally understand.
Exactly. What Gulshaw saw. Yeah.
I like how Goldshaw's looking at your Brady Bunch window and smiling. That was pretty funny. You guys watch as the worm rears back and as it plunges into the edge of the cliff face and begins to follow the direction that it was given, all of you begin to feel the cliff.
Watch out for lava!
All of you begin to feel the cliff crumble underneath your feet, as if this worm had created a fracture, a tremor along the face of the cliff as you're watching it now.
Well, everyone was hugging the wall because otherwise there wasn't any room for the worm.
So with that, everyone give me dex saves to make sure you keep your footing.
Oh, boy.
All right. We just
Plus
need
5,
to find
right?
a safe place for the night. Come on.
22.
Oh, shit. I rolled amazing on this.
Plus 5, right?
I got a
Correct.
22.
Yeah.
Okay.
22 for Golshaw.
So
is there a hole where the worm went through?
Where it started, it created a groove and then a hole as it followed your pattern. So Derek, what'd you get?
okay, so I got a
22 for Apollo. 22 for Golshaw.
Get a 35 thanks to
35
Apollo.
for Derek.
'Cause I
Kai,
got
what'd you
a
get?
10.
10. Kai, you are currently plunging down the side of the mountain. Arena, what'd you get?
Arena got a
Yay.
28.
Okay.
And Ghost got a 23. Wait, what is his plus? Yeah, a 23.
Valev, what'd you get? Hold on. Valev, what'd you get?
26.
Okay, so all of you cling to the side, and you manage to shift away from where the flat of the cliff has collapsed out from underneath your feet. You watch as a series of rock just leaves underneath Kai. She's trying to make her way to the tight edge of the cliff, and she is now currently falling.
Kai, did you use my plus 5?
Kai, did you use the plus 5?
Yes, I did.
Did you use my plus 5?
And
Oh.
can I catch her?
Yep,
So,
I did.
Apollo, you're going to attempt to catch her. Give me athletics check. Arena,
I'll
is
go
there
ahead
anything
and I'll help
I
him
wanted
and
to
like
attempt
stick
to
up my
put her in the
staff.
necklace.
Okay.
I wanted to put her in the necklace.
Whip out your staff.
So, Apollo, you try first. You're going to try to grab her as she's falling. So, give me athletics.
That is, it's just. Oh, shit! It's a check. Bad. 25.
Okay, and you guys are taking in your point of exhaustion in consideration, correct?
Oh,
Yeah,
I
so
mean,
we
point,
do
yeah.
skill checks at
Derek-
That was
disadvantage.
with disadvantage. So
Saving throws are normal.
Derek-
Skill check
Correct.
and
Correct.
initiatives are
Correct.
Derek
Yep.
and Valev with their armor, you said they have advantage against being prone?
Being knocked prone.
Knocked prone. Okay.
Correct.
Gotcha.
So with that, you guys watch as Apollo, holding on to the side of the cliff, grabs on to Kai's hand and begins to swing her back up where there's just enough room for her to catch her feet. And all of you are now plastered up against the cliff. There are rocks beginning to tumble down from above, and you can see this makeshift groove that eventually turns into the tunnel that the worm has created, and it's out of sight at this point.
Gonna
It
go into
has
the tunnel.
continued on.
I jumped
I
through
can
this.
still
Yeah,
feel it, right?
going
I
through the
can-
tunnel.
I mean, you can still feel the
No, I mean,
unnatural,
sense the worm
the
or-
unnatural
Yep.
connection with it. You can still get that
Follow it.
sense.
Okay.
As you guys look, there's about 100-foot leap down to where it went.
Whew.
But the groove that it carved
Oh,
out
boy.
is like
100 feet below you. Because
I'll use-
it's 350 feet long. It reared back and leapt up and dug itself into the ground.
I'll use
The beginning of the groove is about 100 feet below where you guys are currently kind of plastered up against the cliff face.
who said they had featherfall?
I'll use my carpet
I
to
do,
get everybody
but
down
not-
there.
So,
Okay. Gulshaw whips out the
There
flying
you go.
carpet and begins to shuttle you guys one by one. By the time the last of you are shuttled down to that area of the groove, you watch as the remaining mountain face just collapses in on itself, and freshly protruding lava comes coursing out of the side of the mountain. You guys are now hovering down in where the groove is and the beginnings of where the tunnel is, and you begin to kind of move forward in the space. After about 5 minutes of just kind of hovering there and catching your breath, the smoke is getting worse now. The closer you get to the lava fields and the deeper you get into the interior of this space, it's getting to the point where you're either coughing lightly, you've got to smother yourself to keep the thicker ash from getting into your lungs. I need everybody to make con saves, please.
Plus 5? It
Oh,
saves,
man.
right?
Yep.
I got a natty 20.
25
I'm gonna
without
put-
even checking.
22.
Yeah, dirty
Um,
20.
I want to put Ghost in the... Well,
16.
can I check
No,
my
I'll leave
potion?
Kai, take 18 points of burning damage from the fume of the smoke. So if you got a 18 or higher, you save. If you get a 17 or lower, you fail. If you save, you take no damage. If you fail, you take 18 points of fire damage from the burning smoke.
Is Kai resistant?
Is that fire?
Yeah.
Because I am resistant to fire.
Well, I mean, it's a similar effect as fire, so you can have it.
Okay.
You can definitely have it.
All right.
But it's getting hotter as well. You can feel the sweat beginning to kind of collect underneath your armor. You can feel your feet getting a little bit squishy from the pools of sweat forming down deep in your boots, and it's getting hotter and hotter. There's a distant glow far off at the very tail end of this fresh tunnel that this creature has made, and then you can see it suddenly shoots to the right and up as you begin to realize it's found a fresh path. You guys traverse this pathway deeper down, and you can see where the purple worm grooves of its toothy extrusions create a serrated edge for you to kind of path your way up. And as you do, you find yourself in an exposed cavern. On either side of it, you can see rivers of lava coursing down and away, but it is just insufferably hot here. You can see smoke beginning to form off of your clothing and skin. Slight blisters begin to form as you're beginning to take severe burn damage from this space. I need everyone to make con saves, please.
What do I have?
Can I cast Absorb Elements?
Absolutely. And you guys are not in initiative, so if you either have potions or things that you want to do as a quick response to this environment that you're in, feel free to. The worm has continued.
I just took my healing.
Apollo, let me get one of those potions that Vert gave you. The fire ones. I think we're going to have to use them right now.
I got an 18.
JB Rucifer, thank you for the raid. Much appreciated.
Here you go.
Does an 18 save?
What was that potion again?
An 18 does just save. An 18 or higher saves. A 17 or under fails.
Okay.
Fire resistance. Potion of fire resistance.
All right. Cool.
Thank you, JB Rucifer. Much appreciated.
I put Ghost in the necklace because it's getting too hot for him.
You watch as his searing necrotic fur kind of like is smoky and charred as you pull him into the necklace of containment.
Thanks to Cher, Dougley gets my fire resistance because I do. All right. Feature.
So 19 is okay then?
Yep.
I'm
18 or higher
consciousness on
saves,
myself,
17 or less fails. Oh, thank you for the follow, JB. Much appreciated. We're
How much-
getting closer to that 400 goal.
Woo, woo,
It feels
woo, woo.
good. We're getting closer.
Do I see any place where it's like the cavern turns into like, stone?
It's isolated. The only thing you can see are the rivers of lava shifting beyond where this cavern is. And then there's the continuation of the worm. It's now more to a lateral angle, like it's following some pathway deep into the recesses of the volcano that you kind of gave it that impression.
Okay.
Arena, you can still feel the connection, but you feel it's getting rougher. This thing is suffering damage. It is not doing great, but it doesn't know that. It's just following your orders, staying on that command. You get the sense that this thing will destroy itself pursuing whatever you have told it to do.
Perfect.
On that
How many hit
concept,
points
if you
does a
succeed
giant
how
undead
much?
have?
So, if you
I feel
roll
bad.
a 17 or lower on your con save, you take a point of exhaustion from the heat. If you
Okay.
rolled an 18 or higher, you resist it and you take 18 points of fire damage. If you are resistant to fire damage, you can have it. If you saved, you can have it as well.
Nice.
Okay, I'm gonna
So-
cast.
So I half it if I save
four.
and
No-
I half it
no
if I'm
worries at
resistant,
all,
or just one
Gabe.
halving.
No worries at all, JB. I'm totally with you. I do that all the time. I watch a lot of folks in the library because that's where it's easier for me to watch. Get some sleep, and much appreciated for the follow. And thank you for the. And Mad Fuggin's on. He also
Hey,
responds.
Mad!
He also responds to Brucey. I appreciate that. mad. You well. So with that, what are you guys doing? This is getting difficult in this spot. It's going to get harder.
I'm gonna do a mass cure wounds.
Okay.
Oh, what?
I'm
No?
not quite there yet.
yeah.
for
I
me.
don't think we need that yet.
Okay, never mind then.
Yeah, I've made
I'm
my
only like
saves,
11 hit points
so-
down.
I'm quite a bit
Apollo.
because of that.
Nearly bloody.
Apollo's really bloody. That was my.
Are
No.
we?
Yeah.
Are we underground right now?
You are
Yeah.
currently underground. The only thing that exposes the exterior of the mountain is the sound of the volcanic lava pouring out of broken pieces of like the frontage of the mountain. But you're definitely deeper in by at least 1,000 feet or so because you moved quickly and deeper down. But the new tunnel extension that the worms created is more lateral and slightly elevated up.
All right,
Alright.
we keep following it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's move.
As you guys continue to follow it, the heat dissipates slightly. Your feet find granite rock that is more solid as opposed to crumbly like the front of the mountainscape. It's not cooling off, but it's not getting hotter. It diminishes a bit as you finally make your way into a massively exposed caldera-like formation. You can see that here things have shifted away. These blasted areas of rock and lava that have crumbled and kind of drifted further down into this mountainscape. You begin to realize that this is like for those of you that have been here before, looking around, you found one of the exposed Warren tunnels. This is one of them. You recognize the familiar curvature and the way the grooves are. You can see partially manufactured stonework. And you begin to realize you're near the main heart of the Warrens, but you're not entirely sure where because of all the damage and earth tremors and collapse. But the heat is still there. It's overwhelming, but it's not suffering right now. And there, lying heavily damaged, is the purple worm construct.
All right.
Can I heal the worm? Are you able to heal undead? Yeah, that you
You get the
donated?
sense that the
Cast
only
necrotic
way this
on it.
creature can like restore itself is through a long rest.
Okay.
Wasn't there something when we cast necrotic on it, it healed it? Or when
No.
somebody
No, that
else
was
cast
Ghost.
necrotic?
That was
Oh,
ghost.
okay.
Yeah, it's ghost.
Necrotic
That's
damage,
ghost.
healed ghost.
All right.
All right,
But this area.
Gonna pull ghost out and put the worm away.
This area seems to offer you a bit of a respite.
All right.
The
Yeah.
smoke is not as bad. The heat is intense, but not suffering. The creature has been pulled back in, and you are surrounded by different points of entrance and exit throughout all the warrens that you've experienced before. It's just hard to know for sure where you are.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
look at ghost and I'm gonna ask him, do you think if I leave the worm in the necklace, do you think it would get like a long rest? Did it feel restful when you were in there, or did it feel like almost no time?
It always feels restful when I'm in there. I like it. When I used to know how to eat and sleep. I don't do either anymore.
Well,
I don't know. Can dead things sleep? I don't know.
Derek,
Well,
don't
they
you have an
always say you'll
ability
sleep
that,
when you're
that,
dead, but-
that tells you the directions and stuff like that?
Yeah, for my favorite terrain, one of the, because I have 3 at this point, I have forests, swamps, and mountains.
If it uses that arcane thing, don't
doesn't
make the
use-
nose bleed again.
It
A
doesn't
volcano's a
use-
mountain.
It doesn't use the arcane thing. It's just
Yeah, let's not do that.
yeah.
Don't make your nose.
I mean, you
bleed
get the
again.
feeling
Yeah.
that the
My
conditions that
arcane
you are...
eye uses arcane on me.
You get the feeling, Derek, that the conditions that you are in are more of an inhibitor than something that's going to help you. Sure, your favorite terrain is mountainous, but this is terrain that has been broken, disturbed, and continues to suffer from earth tremors. So there's a challenge with what you see versus what you can predict. So rather than with advantage, it would be normal rolls for the most part.
I just want to, because right now we've taken a beating. We've been traveling a long time. I just want to find a spot where we can get a respite.
Yeah, where it's not hot, where it's not smoky.
Well, hot heat we can deal with. I'm more thinking of the poisonous smoky gas that's been killing us this whole time. So just someplace secure that we can get along.
Just give me a good old-fashioned survival check, Derek.
All right.
Can I help him?
He's already got advantage because of familiarity. Okay. So it's a normal roll for him because it's disadvantage because of the conditions.
It's disadvantage because of my 1 level of exhaustion.
Correct.
All right.
Is there a tiny hut or anything?
Go into my box. Stop. That is a 26.
Arena, you're fired. You are in the corner. You're on timeout. What'd you get, Derek?
That's a 26.
26. There is one particular Warren tunnel that is on the opposite end of the cavern that you're in. There seems to be almost, you watch as smoke kind of billows and then is pulled into it and then dissipates into the tunnel, almost as if maybe it's an impromptu air shaft or there is something that's pulling the smoke up and out in that direction.
Okay, but by it, there's like a little secure area then that will basically basically the smoke.
It looks like if you were to hang out in that section of the Warren tunnel, that the smoke is being pulled purposely upward through some kind of effect that's happened to it.
All right, I'll point it out to the group and lead us there.
Make our way there.
Okay.
Set up cots. We don't even need just bedrolls.
We don't need blankets.
Yeah,
don't even need, I mean,
it's hot enough hot without blankets.
I just lay on my hovering
We're warm enough.
Yeah.
I lay on
my hovering carpet. You asshole, move over.
Drink some water, eat some rations, and hopefully...
You just hear a voice. You hear a voice in your head, Arena. I think I'm just going to knock Gulshaw off that carpet. I mean, it looks comfortable.
It does look comfortable.
Yeah, it does.
We could probably lay on it with him.
No, I don't think he'd appreciate that. Have you noticed that Gulshaw's kind of gotten a bit all, goody two-shoes?
I was going to say grumpy, but okay.
Well, you may describe it as grumpy. Anyways. No, I think I'll stay in the necklace. I'm good.
Now
he hears a voice in his head. If I cared about
that's right, he's out now.
About
yeah.
me,
I
might be concerned.
But we can talk telepathically, so that everybody else didn't hear that.
No, you're the only one that heard that.
Yeah.
So hide in plain sight lets me create camouflage. I can spend a minute to make, which as long as we're not moving, I can.
Yeah, unfortunately, that lends to another problem. You begin to realize that slight earth tremors continue. They're never so big that they're immediate earthquakes, but you're in a space that is suffering an eruption, and the eruption effect is further away, but the energy is emanating out underneath your feet.
Okay.
The conditions here are rough. They're not great by any stretch of the imagination. It is not, it's going to be a difficult night to hunker down. Unless you want to continue on and see if there's another option.
Have to take watches.
No, there's not. We're inside a volcano. There's not going to be another option.
Well, you're inside the Warrens. The Warrens were immeasurable from the last time you were here.
Yeah, if we move farther in, we might find actual.
You haven't reached the central Warren yet.
Stuff.
There is also the possibility of us running into those worms, any of those numerous imp swarms that were summoned, or any number of other monstrosities.
The arcane nature of this place is quite chaotic at this point. Knowing what Gulshaw experienced and felt was at the very center of this volcanic disruption, you get the feeling that practicing arcane arts in this space are extremely dangerous.
Oh, this isn't arcane. This is literally me making a ghillie suit blanket, basically.
No, I understand that, but I'm just saying that the nature of the danger that this place is, constant earth tremors. Sure, you found a place where the gas is now being shunted off up a collapsed air shaft behind you. You're in and amongst all these different warren tunnels that lead off into different directions. The majority of the lava flows have been left behind from where the worm created this pathway and up to this area. But you get the distinct feeling through your understanding of the overall terrain. It could be something completely different an hour from now. You know, how much more eruption is left in the volcano? How much more, how many more tremors are coming? How much more can this space take of this constant eruption that's going on? These are just concerns that you have.
Yeah, exactly. But like I said,
how many natural 20s can I roll in the next 5 minutes?
Yeah, we already know there's more stuff inside as opposed to what we're dealing with right now. I don't know.
Now I remember when we ran out of here.
Because like right now we're suffering from exhaustion.
There was a tunnel. If we can get to that man-made. It's not a tunnel. It was a hallway.
That hallway was all the way though pretty close to the beginning. That was like right when we got to the.
No, we ran out a hallway. The last thing we ran out of here was a hallway. I mean, a big one. A fire giant sized hallway.
It was a access point to the gateway exit out the backside of the Warrentoon Mountain facade, right. And it was open and exposed and quite large and cavernous. I mean, it probably suffered the calamity of the eruption, as far as you can tell. You're deeper now because of the worm path that's taken you deeper into the roots of the mountain. You're probably actually beyond that point. Okay. You're just not entirely sure where it is, but that's a good recollection of the final escape area.
Yeah, because when we finally escaped, when we opened that door, it was flooded with water, but right behind us was a giant lava flow, which was basically the middle of the volcano. So,
right.
Would it be cooler in the worm's mouth by chance? No.
Okay, so my notes from that day say we go to the big iron. We go to the big iron double doors. Manage to get the bar off. Water rushes out. We climb onto the T-Rex, and he carries us through the water.
Yeah.
We get to the top of the mountain, out of the caves, on top of the T-Rex, looking out over the lush valley. Well, that lush valley is now all lava.
Correct.
And the dormant volcano behind us begins to erupt.
Yeah, so because where we fought the fire giant, that was the middle of the volcano. That's
big
the volcano.
Double doors.
She's awake. It's the kind of deal right there.
Freaking fire giant, undead fire giant starts the volcano. Jerk.
Well, to be fair, it was the retrieval of the Raven Queen's.
Are we at least going in the right direction?
That was me.
Yeah.
Amulet
of the Raven Queen started all that shit happening.
Yes,
freaking undead fire giant started the volcano. I'm still blaming the undead fire giant.
I mean, does it look like if we go up farther that it's less hot, less steamy, less...
from this spot that you're in, you can definitely feel a draft of air pulling the gas away and deeper up into this, whatever this warren leads to. It's really hard to gauge the temperature, though, because it's just, I mean, it's hot, it's noisy, it's a misery. Right. It's difficult to know for sure.
At least we have company in our misery.
Oh my God, I love my new chair. It's so nice.
Let's go. I mean, do you want to try going a couple 100 feet up? Maybe sneaking out and just scouting it out?
Yeah, I'll scout it.
Okay.
I'll go with you.
Could we not send? Yeah, I was like, could we not just send somebody a almost like bird or something to summon?
For whatever reason,
I can send Dax out.
Oh.
I don't know
You
which
can have
spells
Dax
are gonna
go.
fry my brain, so I don't.
Oh,
wanna use
Dax. Yeah,
magic.
Dax could go out, right?
Oh
I
yeah,
forgot you had a
'cause
familiar.
you can use. Let's do that then.
It's
It won't
Arcana.
affect
Explodes
him
your head.
at all. He's my homunculus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can kill him this time.
Oh, you cast a
Skull
magic
shot's head
missile.
exploded.
So
Yeah.
let me get this straight. You're casting a magic missile? Yeah. Okay, your head explodes.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You guys
Mhm.
watch
Unfortunately, don't have
as-
that spell.
You guys watch as Kai gives some commands to
Never
Dax. Dax kind of
Yeah,
like
I just
quickly
want him to go look
scurries
if
up.
he's trouble to come back.
Yeah, he scurries up the edge of the cavern, or of the warren entrance, and makes his way further, slightly up and into the space. He gets to the max range of your visual connection, and then it kind of disconnects for a moment. And there's a few minutes that go by, and eventually Dax comes back and begins to describe the continuation of the tunnel, almost in like a corkscrew effect, and it's slightly elevated and winding upwards.
Interesting.
So it's going
So
away
I'll
from
convey that to
the.
everybody.
It's going away from the whatever it is that we could sense in the volcano.
It goes away and then comes back, goes away and comes back. It's like this tunnel that's corkscrewing upwards.
What was
Let's-
the presence we felt
Like
up or
so you
down?
could walk it, maybe.
I mean, as far as Gulshad's concerned, is that the very root of the volcano is where that presence was.
Okay, so if it's going up, then yeah. All right, we can check it out.
And they didn't see it, and they didn't see anything dangerous in there.
Worst comes to worst, we'll hunker down on the path.
Yeah.
Maybe we have shovels. We can dig out a hole or something to hide.
We have a
inside.
giant worm to build.
Yes,
Yeah.
a giant worm that almost collapsed. A gargantuan worm that almost collapsed the cliffside.
Yeah, well.
Not
It's
only
kind of
that,
like
Gotta
using
take
a
the good with
hammer
the
to
bad.
open a. It's kind of like using a hammer to open an egg.
Yeah, there you go.
Would,
It works.
I mean,
So, is the clockwork dragon that Kai has? Is it just a regular like familiar, like from the Find Familiar?
It's a homunculus.
It's a homunculus.
Yeah, it's a homunculus. It's kind of like one, but not exactly like one.
So
yeah, it hangs out in my backpack all the time.
I've previously had summoned Sparky, the little pseudo dragon familiar that I have.
Mhm.
Would I
Aw,
think that
they
if
love
I
that.
summoned him in his imp form, that he would be able to go further up beyond, since it can fly and it's immune to fire? Could it go up and go further than what could be seen?
Sounds like a good plan.
Go ahead and use it.
You watch as this little fire imp comes into existence. It
Hey,
kind of
Sparky!
flies.
Okay, so I mean, look around. I know you've been in the Feywild. It's been crazy. It's been fun, but this seems a lot like hell. I thought you might be
I mean,
like you might.
As
like
we
it
walk
more.
up, we can have him up, like
Yeah.
scouting.
So
Right.
you guys can
Going
go up
ahead
ahead of
too,
us,
yeah.
and then just tell me what you see, okay? Hey, no, like weird tricks. We'll wait. We'll save that until we see some enemies and stuff. But just like go and do it, and then let me know.
He just like, and then flies in front of you.
Oh no! He did finger guns. We're in trouble, guys.
No.
He's like, that was the response to no funny stuff.
So-
Right.
Right.
As he begins to scout for the group as a whole, and you guys
Uh-huh.
drift a little deeper and then a little further up, you do notice the elevation change. And as you notice the elevation change, you could feel the coolness of fresh air all of a sudden. And there is Sparky on the edge of a collapsed cliff face where the air was being drawn out. The pathway continues, but more in a lateral, and then dives down yet again. It's almost as if this space was exposed by the continuation of tremors, but there's fresh air here. It's not nearly as hot as it was from where you just came from. This feels like a good spot. This feels okay. Not great, but okay.
All right, take a long rest.
Yeah.
Better. Yeah.
Well, that series was exhausting. Yeah, we're gonna call it there as you guys take your long rest.
What? My
With,
fire wanted to use a spell. Blow up
with
his
a watch.
brain.
With a watch.
So
Oh,
that's
Sparky.
fine. We can
Sparky's up.
we can resolve that watch when we come back next week. So we're gonna wrap it up there, folks, as it's past 10 o'clock.
Ghost also doesn't need sleep, so.
Ghost and Sparky. I want to see that that budding cop Ghost and Sparky like spin-off show. Hey, Ghost, here we go again. Back at it to solve another crime.
Detective Sparky here.
Ghost and the Bear.
Detective Sparky with the finger guns.
Except he actually can fire out of them. Little gouts of flame come out.
Jack, companion.
He always has a nub of a cigar in his mouth.
So tonight, if you guys want to hang out, Talking XP is on. I'd love to raid them.
Yeah.
And go and tease them for a while. Thought that would be kind of fun. So,
Cool.
Hey everybody, we'll see you here again tomorrow. We've got Titans Revival. We also got Denizens and their Masters. And I can assure you, try to show up for Denizens. It's going to be a fun one. So we're going to go raid, say hi to Talking XP, just hang out for the points. Let's have a little fun. For the rest of you, I will see you next week. For some of you, I'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.
Stay
Thanks for coming
safe.
out.
Be kind
Good night.
and play a game. It's important. I
Bye,
promise.
everyone.
I haven't raided for a while, so hopefully I don't mess it up.
Guys, I
What the
survived.
raid.
I'm sure I will. I'm really good at messing shit up. I assure
It's
you,
cool, man.
I am excellent at messing stuff
Yay,
up.
raid.
I can't
Should've
talk
been
about
red the whole
anybody that
time.
can't do
Yeah.
computer stuff because I am definitely the worst at computer stuff.
Go Shaw.
Yeah.
Alright, so what's 10 plus 11 for you? So you can't use your toes?
What?
10 plus 11.
10 plus 11? What about it?
What is it? We gotta make sure you
That's
can
all
use
of
more
his
than your toes.
fingers.
21?
All of his toes. And one more thing.
Oh, gotcha.
His nose.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the other
So
thing that
that'd be a-
resembles
that'd be
Goes over
30?
the line.
phalanges.
That'd be 30?
Phalanges. Dancing phalanges.
See,
You know.
before, what's weird is before when I used to raid, it would pop up in the edit stream info and show me the raid that's going on. And I think they've changed it now, and I've got to look at it from the channel perspective, maybe.
Well, I'm now watching a raid on.
1, 2,
So you're
Mhm.
watching
Watching
Talking
five,
XP
Talking
at this
XP.
point?
6,
Yep.
Cool.
7, 8,
Oh, good.
9, 10.
Mm-hmm.
In that case, I will
Can't hear
switch
them,
this.
but yeah, I can see you.
Apollo. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay.
I can't see you no more, man. I can't see you no more.
I get to you. Oh, well. Oh,
Oh.
I got a 30.
Well, that was fun, guys. I'm gonna run out of power.
Aw.
Oh,
My
no.
generator's down to
wait.
24%.
You better get on your wheel and start running.
I was gonna say you're gonna run out of power. Does that mean that you like start to power down like?
Maybe you could get like a bike, like a bike you could put in there and like you could pedal it while you play to give yourself enough energy.
You can't see my face, but I'm rolling my eyes at you.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I have 24%.
Epic eye roll. Engaged.
24% left on my solar generator.
Belev, you can totally come over and stay at the ranch, or like be at the shop for like game nights if you want to in the future. Yep.
Yeah.
Can you play a banjo?
Yeah.
I can.
Okay, perfect.
All right, guys,
You
I'm
can
gonna
sit
get
on the
going.
front porch.
Good night, Derek.
I have my first day at work tomorrow.
Oh, congratulations.
Yeah.
Congrats. Good luck.
Yay.
Mayor.
See you later.
Have
Good
fun.
luck.
Bye.
See you guys.
Shit.
Bye,
Later.
everybody. Have a good night.
Good night.